we've got some stuff set up here. We do not have Matthew.
We got rid of the body, don't worry.
Yeah. Oh, no. I just think he did this so that I'd have to do an impression of his character. Be very clear that I'm going to be doing a mangled MacLeod impression, I'm sure. The children that were scattered about the floor of the common room looked at the old man, waiting for a tale of faraway lands and heroic exploits. I suppose we were at the beginning then. The underdog, the grove, the sea, the palace, they all converged right there.
Harold, have you ever seen so many different kinds of people in such a big place? How hard could it be to find somebody that knows where Tailwind is?
You're a miracle, boy.
I shake my head and quietly to myself say, there's no such thing as miracles.
I'll tell you what. I'll give you a running start. I'll count to 30. 1, 2.
30, and then I'm gonna run at him and attack him.
You told me your history. I was born on that boat. Huh? That ship that your friend is dissecting.
I absolutely hate how chipper you always are.
And it'd be a good look on you, though.
If it's a riddle, I want to solve it. If it's a lock, I want to open it.
I'm a holy woman, and I'm looking for things that were taken from me and my people.
They could not begin to fathom the situation that they found themselves in. You stand on ice. Ice that is cold beneath the boots that you have been wearing for as long as you can remember. They are worn. The leather has been torn. And the cold wind that blows across this ice breaks through and sends shivers down your spine. The entirety of the Sea of Swords sprawls out before you, frozen in a single sheet. Ships dot the horizon, each of them held within the grasp of ice. And the sky above is an open gray void. The wind howls, and in the distance, a very small voice.
Hawk. Hawk. Run.
Saray, there is no color here. Everything has been drained of any hue, and you are ragged. You have been wandering for as long as you can remember.
Hawk. Run.
Hawk? Hawk.
Your voice rings out across the ice. Far in the distance, a ship becomes more clear than it was before. It is an old galleon ship, and you slowly come to realize that you recognize this ship. It is the Siren's Call. Locked within the ice. Its sails still full as if the wind were blowing it forward. But as it lolls up into the sea, it is held, frozen in time. Above you, ravens circle.
Hawk. Run.
On the bow of the ship, a figure stands, silhouetted against the gray sky. You cannot tell who it is. The dark form leaps to the ice, and at first, what seems to be a slow, methodical walk turns into a charge as something begins running towards you.
I'm gonna charge at it too. Before I hit it, I'm going to use my spear to jump over it and then throw my shuriken little daggers at him.
And you land on the ice. Your boots, worn and weathered, hit the ice and tear across it as you slide You've thrown the shuriken behind you, impacting on your target. Figure turns.
Hawk. Run.
The armored figure in the darkness turns towards you. Deep black eyes greet yours, and you see the pale form of Hawk, blood in his hand from where you have thrown the shuriken. He snarls and draws his blade, and the ravens that are circling over you shriek as the blade ignites with a dark purple energy. Calder.
Yes.
You are standing at the back of the cave, and before you, an enormous carrion crawler has descended upon the foe that you and the rest of your companions had been fighting against. Scattered on the ground are your allies. Juniper is struggling to stand from the weight of the descent of this creature as it has thrown rubble and rock outward. Doddle has been very sorely wounded, and you can see that she is bleeding heavily through her jacket as she has tumbled back and is now on the ground. Hawk was locked in battle, but has been poisoned. And if not for the quick work of Saray, grabbing onto him and pulling him away, he would have been underneath the weight of that enormous carrion crawler. Illyri, you've been in shock. The wound on your neck aches. The scar that is slit from one shoulder bone to the next. And you hear a weird whisper in the back of your head. You've been fighting it for some time.
All right. How far away is Doddle from me? I would like to attempt to yoink, if I may.
You may attempt.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll for me either an acrobatics or an athletics. You can make the choice.
I accidentally rolled twice.
That's okay. We'll take the first one, and that's a natural 20. So congratulations. Go ahead and roll again to see if you confirm that natural 20 is keeping with our house rules. It's a 19. Those are all really great rolls. All right.
I'm just glad that the computerized aspect of this eliminates the subconscious fear that I'm somehow cheating.
Right?
The computer's doing it for you.
Yeah.
You begin running across the shattered bone of this cavern, and you see the small lump of form that is Doddle. She has dropped after this explosive attack from this creature. It was thunderous when this beast touched down against that the drow that was quite unaware of the presence of the worm at the time. And Doddle fell back, and the small goblin is kind of tousled like a rag doll in a corner. And your boots hit the ground as you push off, and you leap forward, grabbing her and continuing forward. You are holding her under your arm, and you are currently running. But the question that I have for you is, where are you going?
That's a very good question. I mean, I think I would just like to get out of range of this creature. If it's like a football.
So here are your options. There are a number of tunnels in front of you that would be easy to just run down. I will tell you, because Calder has witnessed this directly, that the last time you ran down a tunnel, you found this worm.
Yeah.
And there might be more. There are tunnels above you that you know lead back into the chambers that you originally came from. And across the way are a smaller set of tunnels that lead deeper into wherever these caverns go. They almost slide downward.
All right, then I think I'd like to go just to like the mouth of one of the tunnels. So like sitting just inside one maybe. So it's kind of like hiding, at least being as out of the way as possible without actually like disappearing into a mystery cavern, please. The goal is to just get Dawdle out of the range of a potential killing blow situation from this creature.
Right, okay. And so that is your action. Illyri, you have this pain across your neck and this pulsing sense that someone close by is watching you. In fact,
that doesn't feel good.
just now looking about, you come to realize the full extent of the situation, and you feel as if you've been sleepwalking. And you watch as Calder runs across this field of shattered bone and leaps down, grabbing some small figure and ducking into one of the caverns, rolling out of the way as this creature kind of collapses downward and starts to undulate around the room.
I'm not 100% sure what's going on around here, but that looks like a good idea. I'm gonna follow suit.
So go ahead and make an acrobatics check as you leap into a hole.
Woohoo! Did I do it?
Yes, you did. 18.
Oh, yes.
That's pretty good.
Illyri, you slide across the cavern floor, and then you kind of duck into the mouth of a cavern and pull yourself out of harm's way. Dawdle, make a Constitution saving throw.
I also just want to add, for story purposes, that she's not unconscious yet, and I don't think has ever been hurt this bad, so she's just screaming her head off like, Calder, it hurts!
Oh no.
That's a 6!
Yeah. So yeah, you feel woozy, and you are your whole body is racked with pain, and you are roughly grabbed off the ground. And you know, while it's for the best, it certainly doesn't help the situation. So you're held in the pain of this moment in this cavern, but you know that you are now safe thanks to Calder.
I'd like to take my hands away from my gut and just see the most blood of my own that I've ever seen in my entire life. And I think, honestly, at this point, I'm just too scared to do anything else.
You are drenched in a dark black blood that you are certain, if it is not attended to, will mean that you will die. And as Calder, you hold the small goblin. You are now drenched, and down the front of you is a pool of blood that is forming between the little figure that you're holding on to like a small child and yourself. And your coat and your hands are slick and dark. And in the darkness of this cavern, you see the bright eyes of Dawdle look up, and the glint from her glasses that are cracked, and they start to fade.
Can I, before they fade, just reach up with my little hand and, like, squeeze Calder's coat a little bit?
Yes. Do you say anything, Dawdle?
Is it Calder? I'm scared.
Calder, is it?
Yeah.
You can eat that later?
Wait,
You two are in the same hole. Illyri, you have actually slid into place, and now you're looking across at Calder. Calder, you did not realize that she was there.
All right.
Saving that for later, or is this something we're gonna put on the fire?
Yeah, Calder's just like looking down at Dawdle, like realizing the severity of the situation and also realizing that he's goddamn useless in a medical emergency. He's like, if she's pale, raise the tail. If she's red, raise the head. I don't know. Hey, do you know anything about, can you heal at all? Can you fix her in any way? And he just tries to start like putting pressure on the wound. Like that's the only thing.
Can I put my hand on Calder? Is that an option? There's a spell on my sheet that says heroism. A willing creature you touch is imbued with bravery until the spell ends. And the creature is immune to being frightened and gains temporary hit points equal to your spellcasting ability.
Right. That is going to Calder, or is it going to Dog?
I just want to be like, I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Okay. So, Calder, you immediately feel this wash of assurance from this very flippant and nonchalant half-elf that is skated into this cavern with you. As her hand is on you, though, you do feel this pulse of energy, and her words kind of echo in a weird way. You swear you hear this very lilting, odd, elvish echo in the words, and you feel braver, but also a little strange.
Just very confused, like, what's happening to me? Am I dying?
You have 6 additional hit points.
Oh, great. Okay. I thought.
Doddle has. Is there anything else that you want to add to this?
Me? I have lived in the Hilton my entire 300 years, and I am now on death's door. I do nothing but
you're
scream.
screaming. That's good to know.
Oh no.
I'm screaming, yes.
No. It's a free action.
Scream?
You are yelling, and as you should be. This is terrifying, and you're horribly hurt.
I also don't think that, like, on a logistical standpoint, I don't think there's anything that I could do. I could disguise myself.
I will say that Calder and Illyri here. Oi, bud! You gotta keep her quiet.
All right.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh my god. Well, then in that case, Calder's gonna try to like shush her.
Actually, you just got extra hit points, right, Calder?
Yeah.
How many hit points we talking here again?
It was 6, I believe.
6. How many do you have in total?
I have plenty. Drain the life from me.
I'm glad you know what I'm thinking. Okay, so life leaves Doddle for a second, and her hand kind of like loosens a little bit from your coat, and then tightens again. And again, I just finished Avatar: The Last Airbender, so I picture Doddle like looks up, and her eyes are like glowing but dark. She's gonna like tighten her grip on you, and then like look you in the eye with these like dark, spooky eyes. And I'd like to cast Vampiric Touch. Please and thank you, and drain the, like, I don't even grab your coat this time. I, like, almost grab onto your skin a little. And I'd like to cast Vampiric Touch, please and thank you. Drain the sailor.
Go ahead and roll, and I'm assuming as you're gonna intentionally fail this. You're not gonna try to resist, right?
No, okay. Not at all. He's gonna, like, grab her little arm and, like, go for it, buddy.
So
as soon as he catches on.
19 to hit and 13 damage.
13 is the damage. So you take 13 points of damage, Calder.
All right. Minus the 6,
no
right?
Small. Yeah. Well, it's minus those 6 temporary. So what has happened is you've all played hot potato with 6 points of health. But it actually does work. So you lose that 6 points of temporary first. Mm-hmm. And then after that, you take away the 7 points of damage from your actual total.
Gotcha. All right.
And when the spell ends, I'd like for the darkness to like fade from her eyes, and she's gonna like, just kind of passes out again.
You feel less brave now, Calder.
First my whiskey, and now this.
All right, Juniper.
It's been a day.
Yes.
Make a perception check for me.
Okay. Okay, that's just a 16.
You are lying on your back. You've been knocked over by the descent of this enormous matron carrion crawler that has placed itself within this cavern with you. And as large and overwhelming as this cavern once felt, it now feels claustrophobic as the enormous, slick, slimy form of this multi-legged, tentacled creature works its way through across the walls. The figure that was standing in front of you, the pale, almost porcelain figure of that drow has completely disappeared. And as you're on your back and you watch this creature whip its way around, you see MacLeod pulling himself out of rubble, and you see Saray and Hawk lying on the ground some distance away from you. But your eyes shift back to the tunnels above that lead back into the chamber that you entered this place from. And you see 5 eyes glowing faintly in the dark, small, looking down at you. You know that whatever it is only, about the size of a small cat. 5 eyes, clearly from the glint of the light that's flickering. Most of it is coming from the flaming blade that Hawk has lying next to him.
And oh my god, the worm thing, what's it called again?
A carrion crawler?
The crawler. Is the carrion crawler he's still wrapping around the cavern? He's still moving?
Yes, the crawler is still very much active and seems to be taking a full assessment of the damage done to her nest.
Can I, oh my god. Can I roll to see if I noticed what happened with Calder and Dottle?
You don't need to.
I don't need to. Okay.
You saw Calder grab Dottle, but anything more than that you wouldn't have noticed because they're behind a wall. You just know that they're out of harm's way. And you did see the strange half sea elf that kind of skid across the floor and ducked out of the way.
Okay, good. So to my knowledge, Dottle is okay. So, to my knowledge. Then she's gonna...
I mean, screaming aside, you hear screaming.
Yeah, I hear screaming.
You need that, Lennon?
If she's pale,
Jesus Christ, I'm on my back. There's 5 things there. There's a freaking crawler over there. My friends are there. She...
I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Makes a run towards Hawk and Saray. As she runs, she's gonna cast Sacred Flame. I'm gonna cast Sacred Flame on the 5 eyes that are above. I'm stressed.
Yeah, you should be. No, it's okay. So here's how this is gonna work. I need to make a dexterity saving throw for your attack. Your spell DC, I believe, is 15. Is that correct, or is it 16?
It's 11.
No.
Hold on.
No, it is. Wow.
Yeah, it's 11.
It's a lot lower than I thought it would be.
I know. Sad face.
Still fails, however. So you have gotten lucky, my friend. Okay, so the dexterity saving throw has been failed, and now you can roll a d8 for the radiant damage that you caused.
And that is a 13.
Okay, so there is a shrieking noise as you see this just burst of kind of greenish, glowing pale flame that ignites in that cavern above you as your hand is outstretched, and you feel your shield grasp onto you, and wood and vines start to kind of dig into your shoulders as the pulse of naturalistic energy outstretches into this cavern, and that green light illuminates the creature. It is one of the small orb-like monstrosities that you met on the Siren's Call. The weird mimicking creatures that have multiple eyes that float. They're very small. You can't hear what it's muttering right now after the shriek, but it immediately starts to run away from you. But you know that it has been watching you. And when you do this, the carrion crawler turns, looks at you, and its tentacles splay out, and it shrieks as it lumbers above you. Saray, you have grabbed onto Hawk, and he's lying on the ground, shattered bone all around. You see June look upward and shoot this blast of greenish pale light, fire that erupts from her hand and into a cavern above you. You have no idea what she's shooting at.
So I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna Hulk. I'm gonna look around like dazed and confused because I'm sure I'm a little dazed and confused here, and then I'm gonna try and help Hawk up.
Yeah, you grab
and make
on
sure
to
he's
Hawk,
okay.
and you start.
Come on, bud.
You start pulling Hawk up, and as you do, you flip him over, and for a moment, his eyes are the same black eyes that you witnessed for that brief moment. They are pitch voids that do not emit any light whatsoever, and even in this darkened cavern, they seem darker, and they're not responsive to anything around them. And sitting very neatly next to Hawk as you grab onto him is that cat. Its ribcage glimmers in the light of Hawk's blade.
Not right now. Come on, Hawk. Let's go.
Hawk, make a wisdom saving throw.
It's a 19?
Yeah. So, Hawk, you are surrounded by the wet, dripping caverns of the Underdark, and there are purple, glowing fungus and moss that has seeped into this cavern, but there's a kind of a vein of strange, glowing green rock that has been exposed in this portion of the cavern. In front of you are the corpses of 3 Durgar, which are the gray dwarves, and they are still clasping on to various hammers and mauls, but their armor has been rent open and their intestines are splayed out throughout this chamber, and their dead eyes are looking up at the ceiling, and you are standing there, and your blade is dripping with blood, and you hear in the distance,
Come on, Hawk. Wake up.
I'm going to try and take stock of the room that I'm in with the Dwergar. Do I see anything out of the ordinary, or is it just a normal cavern, or any markings on them? Is this familiar to me?
It flits past your memory, and you do recognize it. I mean, you've been trying to find your way out of this place now for what feels like months, and you have been wandering, and you don't remember what caused this altercation, but you feel this sense that something is right behind you and always coming towards you slowly. And every time that you stop, it gets closer. And as you hear, Hawk, wake up, Hawk, wake up, somewhere off in the distance.
Hawk. Hawk. Run.
I'm gonna leave it up to you. Do you want to step out of this vision, or do you want to remain in it?
I'm gonna remain in the vision.
Okay, fair enough. So make a Constitution saving throw for your poison.
You butthole.
Yeah,
it's
that's
a 6.
fail.
Oh.
Okay. So how many hit points do you have left, Hawk?
Oh boy. I have 29 hit points.
Okay, you take 6 more.
Oof.
So Ray.
Yeah.
You are holding on to Hawk.
Getting up.
He's not responding to you. His eyes are still these black voids, and you see these veins of purple working their way through his flesh. And he kind of lulls a little bit, and this black viscous fluid pushes out of his mouth and his nose and starts to drip down his face, and you can see that he's convulsing.
Gross. MacLeod?
You feel MacLeod like kind of pushes close to you. Is he all right?
No, I don't think so. Get him out of here. Get him with the others. Like, as he does that, I'm gonna kind of cover him and like ready myself to fight whatever the fuck June is fighting.
Okay, so MacLeod grabs on to Hawk, and I'll make a roll to see if he can manhandle. Yeah, he can actually.
Yeah.
So
good boy, MacLeod.
Yeah, MacLeod grabs onto Hawk and pulls him down into one of these close by caverns. You can see that MacLeod kind of struggles a little bit, and he doesn't look like he's in great shape either.
I am keeping in constant contact with him, by the way, and sending him updates. So I'm sure if he wants to do something, he will let us know.
Yeah. So he is hurt. He wasn't hurt from the crawler. He was hurt from other things.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so he does look kind of battered, and he pulls Hawk, and you can see as he grabs onto him, his arm, like his shirt has become shredded, and you can see all of the burn damage on his arm, the scarification that has worked its way up, and he's dragging Hawk into this cavern and pulls him down, and you can see him just like digging through his bag, and he's like desperately looking for something and mixing things together as he starts grabbing pieces of this little brass device and starts cranking them together. He's like, oh, come on, I've got this, I can fix this. And he's working desperately to try to do something to help Hawk in the situation, but you lose sight of it as the carrion crawler drops down on Juniper. June, you can make an acrobatics check to use that towards a dexterity saving throw, but I'm going to allow you to use your acrobatics to get out of the way.
Oh my god.
I would suggest not failing this roll.
Oh god.
It is a it is a 12.
You feel those vines and that growth on your back where the shield is held currently. As it wraps around you, everything goes dark, and you take 14 points of damage.
Okay.
But you feel that you have been protected by your shield as it cocoons around you. Make a perception check.
I will cry. Okay. A 14.
You can't hear anything in the chamber outside of this cocoon of growth, the wood and vines that have wrapped you. However, you very, very clearly sense that you are moving very quickly. You have not settled, like there's an inertia to wherever you are in this moment. Saray, I guess just Saray.
Oh my god.
You don't see June when the carrion crawler whips back around.
Oh no! This is a rough one, my dudes.
You've got Hawk and MacLeod in one corner, and you're standing in the center. You're currently the only one who's not in a place of protection. Is there something that you want to do, Saray?
Okay, is MacLeod and Hawk kind of out of the way?
They are.
Okay. I'm going to fuck me. I'm gonna spend a key point, and I'm going to close my eyes, and I'm going to focus, and calm, and put my hand on the wall, and I'm going to open a shadow hole portal thing. I don't know. I'm gonna try this.
That's what you want to do?
Yeah.
All right. Then you need to make a wisdom saving throw before you do so. Okay.
Fuck.
You reach out into the darkness of the cavern behind you. What is your intention here? Where do you want this portal to go?
I was trying to open a portal to let something out to help us out.
You're gonna release something to help you?
Yep.
Or okay, so there's no transportation happening here. You're not.
Nope. I was just gonna. Well, there is transportation because I was trying to get the was trying to get the fucking thing out. I can't remember what it's
No.
called.
I know what you're talking about, but to be clear, you're gonna release the creature here and not somewhere else. Okay. That's all I need to know.
Yeah, because fucking I don't want to what we need help. We need backup, and everyone else is down, so we need an extra body here.
Mags also goes, oh shit, I forgot. Oil will be alright with all this oil. I just remembered that I still have a use of sanctuary.
Is that is via your communique with Matt? He wants to use sanctuary. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Jesus.
Well, you can
Error, Sarah, flare.
flyer.
I also said, Saray's fucking releasing the cat thing. He says, the manticore? I said, yes. And he says, oh hey, that's a terrible idea.
I mean, there's nothing else. There's literally no one else.
He also just put it in quotation marks, so, oh hey, that's a terrible idea. Idea.
I failed, so I doubt it's coming out.
Yeah. So you reach your hand back into the shadow. Immediately you feel this connection and this wash of cold work through you. Hawk, the Duergar are lying in front of you, and you hear that echo in the distance. And then, somewhere further back, you hear a rumbling and screaming, and Dawdle screaming in pain. And it all echoes in layers on top of each other. And the corridor leads to the north and to the south. You're standing in a pool of deep, dark blood.
Which direction do I hear everybody's shouting from, or is it just in my head?
Behind you, you hear...
Hawk. Run.
In front of you, you hear the echoes of your companions.
I take a deep breath and I run forward, like sprinting.
You hear somewhere far echoed out, "Oh, come on, bud. I don't want to see you die here. No, come on. Come on, you gotta stay with me."
Bro, TP.
I like a little OTP.
There is something in the distance, Hawk, okay? Make a perception check.
Don't fail me, D&D Beyond. You failed me, D&D Beyond. That's a 7.
You feel this pulsing wooziness that works through your body, and you look at your hand and you pull your gauntlet off. And there's this slick black blood and veins that are worked through, and you don't know where you're bleeding from, but it's just all over your hands. Do you continue forward?
I do, and while I'm running, I'd like to kind of open myself up as much as possible to my patron, and I'm just muttering to myself, just get me out of here. I'll do anything. I'll do anything. Just get me out of here.
Do you say that?
I say that.
Come, my minions, rise for your master.
Yeah. Bro, anything?
Go ahead and make a religion roll.
Right. That's an 18 at least.
All right. You come to a dead end. You run up on a rocky outcropping that leads out into a deep black void. Your feet just skid to a stop, and pebbles and rocks kind of shuffle off the edge of this deep, dark precipice, and you barely keep yourself from falling forward into this nothingness. Everything else goes quiet. You stop hearing the shouts of your companions, and behind you, you stop hearing the voice of your sister. Then you hear her again, but this time she's in front of you.
All you have to do is let go.
I take a deep breath. I close my eyes. And I let myself fall into the pit.
And as you do, you hear the scream somewhere far in the distance, as if through 1,000 layers of stone. No! while weak, Doddle, you are now conscious. Your eyes kind of lull back open, and you feel faint, very faint, and you're looking up at the big, kind of terrified expression on Calder's face.
I'm sorry, did I make you worry?
How bad does Doddle look right now?
Better than she did.
Yeah. Oh, all right. How are you feeling? I don't know what if there's new blood or if this is all just old blood. There's a lot of blood. I can't tell anymore. What's going on? How are you?
Do I see the worm?
There's a shadow moving, and there's shrieking. There's a lot happening. It's hard for you to kind of fully grasp the full situation because of your placement, but it is definitely moving around and attacking back there.
Okay, can I, like, have my hand on my gut where I'm bleeding, and can I move so that I can hopefully see the worm, please?
Doddle kind of breaks out of your grasp, Calder, and pulls herself weakly over to the edge of the cavern.
Are you gonna fight the thing?
Should I not?
You're very small, and it's very big.
I'm not getting a lot of confidence here.
Wait. And he like reaches out to Doddle again, like, if you're gonna go fight it, do the thing again.
What thing?
The thing that you just did that helped you.
Huh?
The bad touch thing. The
what?
You did a thing. You grabbed me, and then you felt better, and then I felt worse, but you felt better.
Thank you for informing me. I feel something I need to process later, and I'd like to keep walking towards the room. The worm, please.
It's like you handled it. And then I would just like to, like, if possible, eventually make my way into fighting this worm creature and slaying it with my bare fists.
Okay, so you're positioning yourself to be able to attack.
Yeah, I would just like to get into place to start fighting.
All right, so here's what I'm going to do. We're going to start a new initiative round. Everybody roll initiative, and we will start off of that.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
Everybody. So even though, like, Hawk, we don't know what you're doing, but go ahead and give me a number just so that I know.
Ooh. Do you need one from me?
Yeah, everybody.
Okay.
Everybody. Yeah, let's start up here at the top. So MacLeod is spending his action trying to deal with Hawk. We don't really know what that includes, but Calder, you're up. What would you like to do?
Well, seeing that Doddle is kind of beginning to go for it, I think true to form, I think I'm just gonna swan dive out into this battle and just go for it. I think my goal here is gonna be to try to distract this giant creature as much as possible using like acrobatic shenanigans to keep it from actively attacking everyone who's, on the ground.
Yeah, there's an empty swath of cavern where this creature has kind of pummeled itself down, and all of the bones have kind of flung themselves to the far corners of the space. And you are looking at this massive form as the slimy bulk of this worm-like creature works its way around. And these tentacles are writhing about. However, two of the tentacles are currently wrapped around what look like a wooden cocoon.
Huh.
And it's carrying it as if it's going to take it somewhere.
Oh. All right, so I guess I'll try to go for the tentacles. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I want what's in that box.
Yeah. So
that thing.
You could attack its main bulk, or you can make an acrobatics check and try to position yourself so that you can go higher up, because this thing is about 15 feet off the ground.
Yeah, I guess I'll do the acrobatics thing. Right?
Okay, so go ahead and make an acrobatics check, and then you can make a full attack onto the tentacles of this creature. That's going to do it. So you leap forward and you kind of like rappel, hitting your boots on the side of the cavern, pushing yourself up higher. Yeah, you're parkouring. So you leap up and you slash down. Go ahead and make your attack on the tentacles.
Yay, scimitar. Oh boy. I've lost the... Where do I... I'm so sorry. Oh, there we go. Nope, I found it. Scimitars. There we are.
Oh, that's a natural 20.
Oh.
How did you...
How?
Should we just go home?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a
It's rigged. It's rigged.
Is it? Is it rigged?
It's a natural 20.
I'm
Okay,
so sorry.
you do a... No, don't be. It's amazing. So you do some damage. Go ahead and roll that again to see if you get a second natural 20.
Just some damage.
Please.
It's not a crit hit.
Just roll a d20. Yeah, there you go. No,
right.
you didn't get another one, but that's okay.
That's incredible.
Oh, okay, so you leap up, and you know the air just pauses, and everything seems to hold you in this moment as you float perfectly across the air towards the face of this carrion crawler, and it looks like its head whips towards you in the exact moment that your scimitar slashes downward at it, and you do a decent amount of damage. The more important thing here is that you directly hit the tentacles that are holding on to this this cocoon, and it releases it. And yeah, so it drops the cocoon, and it kind of like hits the ground and rolls out of the way as this enormous beast shrieks in front of you, and you kind of, the moment ends and you drop to the ground. Go ahead and make one more acrobatics check to see where you land, just because it's difficult terrain.
Yo, it just hit me. Is the wooden cocoon, is that June?
Yeah.
Oh!
You just accidentally saved June. You drop to the ground and you roll, and you lose sight of everything else as bones kind of shuffle around you, and you roll off past this creature. And that is your action.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's all good.
That's funny, because Calder, I think, also would not know that wooden thing is June, so you're just like, all right.
Hawk, your eyes alight on the figure in front of you, and you can see vials that are broken, and there are puddles of liquid, and your hand is around MacLeod's throat. His entire form is emaciated, very, very frail and pale, and the life kind of leaves his eyes, and you grasping onto his throat as you say,
I'll do anything, just get me out of here.
Oh my god.
Shadows work their way around in the cavern. MacLeod goes limp in your grasp. When he goes limp in his hand, the brass automaton, Busby, falls out of it and hits the ground with a lifeless clunk.
I'm gonna cry.
I'm just in shock. I lay MacLeod down. I just start whispering, no.
You are no longer poisoned, Hawk.
I'm basically on my knees. I'm like freaking out. I see MacLeod just emaciated and gone from me. And
you regain 25 hit points.
Wait, what?
You regain 25 hit points.
Oh no. I mean, yay, but oh no. I just kind of scream into the void. And as I'm shouting, I allow myself to fold into my necrotic shroud.
Mm-hmm.
My shadowy wings erupt from my back. My eyes become pools of darkness, and my skin that's normally pale becomes like more sallow, kind of sunken and jaundiced a little bit. So it's this sickly, almost yellowish hue to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to charge at the carrion crawler.
As you step out of the corner of your eye, you see Calder float through the sky like a magical boy who strikes with his scimitar. Juniper's shield has cocooned her, and you see this cocoon drop onto the ground out of the tentacles as part of a tentacle just kind of falls, wiggling and writhing on the ground.
Yeah, I'm gonna just hit it as hard as I can in the face with my green flame blade.
Okay, so you can go ahead and roll to strike.
All right, so that is first an attack. So that's 14 to hit.
Hits. It is enormous. So you actually strike. You do 15 points of damage. It shrieks as this large gash is raked across the side of it as you pull your blade, as the worm kind of wraps its way around it, and just gore starts to spill out onto the floor around you.
Perfect. And then, so there's the 15, and then because of Scream Flame Blade, I get an extra 1d8, so that's a 2 to it. Then because I have my Necrotic Shroud, it's plus 7.
Yeah. So you do an additional 9 points of damage. And it's still shrieking. You're doing a very healthy blast to it. As the flame leaps off of your blade, you can see that the flesh of the carrion crawler is putrefying as you slash at it, and it's withering away from your wound that you caused on the side of it. Do you have anything else? A bonus action? Or?
Yes, I'm going to use my last pact slot to make a second level Divine Smite on it as well, for an extra 3d8.
Yeah, go ahead and smite this beast.
Just full blowing it.
Yeah, do not fail.
Oh wow, not good. 10. I mean, good, but not good. So that's an extra 10.
It's passable. You've done a lot of damage to this creature in one round, and it has you have captured its full attention as the carrion crawler turns towards you and shrieks. It's a mangled side of its face with like half of its tentacles kind of drooping downward. The rest of them flail out as it looks like it's preparing to descend upon you as it's going to drop its weight down on you. Dottle, it is now your turn. You hear a lot of commotion. Now what you see as you pulled yourself up to the mouth of the cavern is Hawk, and Hawk is in that form that you've seen very rarely, but these twisted wings and this sallow, undead, armored figure is standing in the center of the cavern and has just dealt a mighty blow to this worm.
How big is the worm itself? In feet.
Yeah, the entirety of the creature is probably 30 feet long, and it is currently reared up to about 15 feet tall.
All right, Dottle would like to cross her arms and place her pointing fingers in the dirt and spin them around so there's like a little circle in the dirt. I'd like to push my fist down and bring up like a handful of just shit and dirt and gross stuff, and I'd like to like throw it in the air and snap, and the dirt like sparks as if it's like a chemical, like in chemistry class. And I'd like to cast Fireball at 4th level inside the worm. Please and thank you.
You can cast Fireball at the worm. You cannot cast Fireball inside of the worm because you don't have line of sight.
If you got the worm?
If you got inside the worm, you could cast Fireball inside of it. You have to be able to see the spot that you're casting that spell onto.
Is it going like, is it over top of Hawk and going like, ah?
So if you move yourself, so you, like, I'll allow you to make an acrobatics check to position yourself in front of Hawk so that you can see down the worm's throat. And then once you're in that position, you can cast the Fireball inside of it. But you'll be standing pretty much where this worm is coming down.
Also, she'll be affected by fear.
That's true. You would already be affected by fear because you may not want to move near Hawk at all.
So on one hand, I could very well die. On the other hand, if I pull this off, it might be the coolest thing I've ever done in D&D.
It would be Death Star trench cool. But there is a huge risk, and I just want to be very clear about it because we've already got some intense moments happening here. You can do whatever you like, Dottle, but if you step there, you're going to be in range of this creature's descent attack.
I feel like it's very in character for Dottle to run in front of Hawk anyway.
Okay.
So I feel like either
You better
way.
make it out alive.
Hi, this is Momo O'Brien, sat here. Hey, get away from my cat was eating my cheesecake. Eating some cheesecake, editing Realms Apart. And my computer stopped recording during this bit, and the backup that Fab and Nox were recording also stopped recording. So I'm here to fill in the gap and say, I did do the thing, and it was awesome. Less awesome that we didn't get it, but it happened. I swear, I've successfully got in front of Hawk and successfully threw the fireball into the worm's mouth.
Recording! I don't know where, but hopefully it got me doing badass stuff for a bit.
Well, I'm recording on this end, but I want to tell you, I didn't say anything earlier in the recording. There was a moment where I was recording, but because I was flipping through these sheets, somewhere I must have hit the button, and it stopped recording for like a brief moment. So hopefully we don't have a gap. But
it's fine.
Yeah,
Not the worst
Well,
thing in the world.
we're
I'm
on
sure
top
I'll
of
have
it.
many more really awesome moments with TNT. It's fine.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'm so glad Doddle's okay though, because like.
Well,
It's 39
you know,
7 now.
Okay, it's relative.
yeah, so you do 46 points of damage to the inside of this worm, and let me tell you what happens.
Iconic.
Your eyes narrow, and through this your cracked glasses, your eyes become very, very small slits as you throw this dirt, dust, and guano into the air, and a small spark shoots out from your finger as the creature's open mouth grinds in front of you like a blender, and the tentacles that haven't been paralyzed by Calder's strike flail out as it looks like it's about to descend on both you and Hawk. And Hawk is standing behind you, somewhat lifeless, and his wings are spread out, and you feel this cold, sickening energy wash across your back. But you shoot this spark, and it alights through the darkened cavern and erupts inside of this creature's gullet as that spark travels down its throat. And there's an explosion of flame as the creature twists in pain and smoke billows out of it. It throws its head back and it collapses dead.
Yeah, Doddle.
Can I look at Can I look at Calder and be like, how'd I do?
Caller is just like white face, like, I'm never calling you small again.
Thank you.
Saray, your hand
Yeah.
is in the shadow.
Yeah.
And
I think
you,
once I see that, I'm gonna pull back.
you failed your wisdom
Okay.
saving throw.
Yeah. Well. Wait. Oh, so I'm going in. Let's go.
You realize that you are now standing in this cavern, but on the other side.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
everything is awash of empty gray, and there is no light anywhere. And in the center of the room, you see the rotted, putrefied corpse of this giant worm. And there are shadows working their way around it. It's strange here. But the strangest thing about it is the figure standing in the center of the room. You see shadows where all of your companions are. They're like wispy ghosts, and you know that you're watching them through the shadow into the prime material plane. But where Hawk is standing, there is a deep black void, and it is towering in a flowing cloak behind him. And where his wings are outstretched, you see two sets of almost skeletal looking hands on his shoulders. Surrounding this figure is a murder of Raven.
I'm gonna try and go back. I've got to go back. I'm just gonna take note and then be like, huh, okay, and then go back.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's not die.
Sweet babies.
Okay, so you start to fade back into the shadows, and you feel yourself using your meditative instruction, the training that you have gained over the years. You start to fade away. However, as you cross the barrier, you realize that there are others who are using these paths of travel that are nearby. You feel echoes. And while you cannot explain it, you haven't heard anything or seen anything specifically regarding it, you know that there are individuals near that are traveling through the shadow. Not you, not Hawk. Someone else is utilizing these passageways, and they are close.
Awesome.
You pass through, you start to fade, and you emerge back into the cavern. Illyri, what are you doing?
Working out a crisis in her head. Definitely paused by all of the things that she is seeing around her and trying to suss out whether or not she's going to ask these people for money for putting her life in jeopardy, or perhaps she's going to just dip out of here. So, is there anything on my character sheet that allows me to symbolically roll for that?
If you would like to symbolically roll,
I would like to roll to decide if I'm going to then ask these people for money or try and get out of here, or maybe both. Like, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, so there's no morality roll, but what I would suggest you do
So funny.
is roll a d20 and then call high or low based on your choice.
Also, MacLeod is done his plans, so he's welcome to hop in whenever.
Yeah, give us 1 minute and we'll bring him in. You rolled a natural 20.
I'm going to ask him for money.
Yeah, okay. So go ahead and roll again, though. You do have a house rule. Whenever you roll a 20, you have to roll again to see if you get 2 of them. You got another natural 20. That's 2
Oh
in a
my
row.
god!
So on your morality check, which
Oh my god.
What? Sorry. It's so funny that we've created this morality check now.
you very clearly are going to ask for money for this. Your morality is how you wish to roleplay it. However, with a natural 20, you reach into your pocket and you grab into a pouch that you have hidden there, and you pull out the piece of parchment that you've been hiding for some time, and you look down at it, and yeah, you're certain now. You weren't certain before, but you're certain now. And on that piece of parchment, in the flickering light of this cavern, the reward is 20,000 gold, and the small goblinoid figure.
Fuck.
No.
The floppy ears and the eyes. You're certain that's her.
Are you talking about this dawdle or this doodle that I'm looking at? Doodle
Yeah.
on this paper looks just like that doodle right there in that
Yeah,
person. Oh yes.
20,000 gold
Woo!
for the safe retrieval of for questioning crimes against the city of Waterdeep.
Oh.
That's bad.
Do I see this?
Question: do I see this too?
Okay, you don't see anything right now. I'll come back to you in a moment. Calder, you do see this, but you don't see what's on the paper. You just see that Illyri has decided to pull this piece of parchment out.
Piece of parchment in the middle of this huge confrontation.
And if you got something in your pocket shuffling around, you're gonna want to. The moment you get an opportunity, you're gonna want to take it out and like figure out what is that.
Priorities, man.
So I guess Cal just like takes note. Like, all right, that's suspicious, but okay.
Hey.
Other things going on.
It does say at the bottom of the parchment, extremely dangerous. And the moment with the magical spark is what proved it to you, Illyri, that this little goblin has to be the one that was being described in this wanted poster.
Can I say that after I blow up the worm and ask Calder how'd I do? I'm just doing a little dance because I'm so happy I blew up the worm.
Is there anything else you want to do? You've made your morality check.
That was it. That was all I was hoping for, and I got it.
Okay.
Am I still in my cocoon?
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Ever. Okay. Heck yeah, 16.
Okay, so the shield releases you, and you fall onto the crumbling bone of the floor around you, and the cavern kind of emerges. You thought for certain that was the end for you, but you are off to the side. You're a little sickened by the momentum of whatever just occurred, and this chill runs down your spine. Then there's this burst of flame, and when you turn around, you see Dottle standing before this enormous worm as it droops and collapses dead, and smoke is like billowing off her finger, and behind her, Hawk is standing with his necrotic wings outstretched.
Can I just say that as soon as she comes out of the wooden cocoon, Cal just like wherever he is seeing that, he just goes, "Oh."
And we're gonna take a break here so that we can get Matt involved. But Matt, before we do, make a death saving throw.
I know. I just noticed.
Bud.
I leave for an hour.
You guys had one job.
Juniper says it's Hawk's fault.
18.
Good. You are no longer dying. You are stable. You are at 0 hit points, but you are unconscious in a tunnel, and we'll come back in just a few minutes.
The appropriate time for bathroom breaks?
Yeah, bathroom break.
Yes.
Yeah.
The greatest thing.
Calder, you are on the ground, looking about. This enormous worm has just shot flame out of its gullet as it erupted from the inside and fell over dead. It has collapsed in the cavern and is not moving, and the entire space, as large as it is filled with this thick, dark smoke, and there is a sickening smell of cooked flesh.
Can we sound off, please? Hello? Who's alive?
I'm alive.
Oh, good.
I guess.
May I turn around and look at the shrouded visage of Hawk and like look a little nervous and like not turning away from him, take like one step back, then another step back, and then like turn and run towards June?
Yeah, you can. I don't even need to have you make a roll. You would have had to make a second one anyway, but you're choosing to fail it. So you turn and flee away from Hawk as he stands in the center of the space. Hawk, you're fully aware of everything going on around you, but there's that empty coldness that is gripping onto your chest, and you do not feel any warmth inside of your body as your wings are unfurled, and you see the terror in Dottle's eyes as she turns and runs down the corridor away from you.
Do I see Illyri with the wanted poster?
Oh.
She has a piece of parchment. You don't know what it is.
Okay. I'm going to just silently look at everybody, and I'm going to turn and make my way back to where MacLeod is, where I left him.
June's gonna like football pick up Dottle and run towards MacLeod to like shield them from Hawk.
Okay, so Juniper, you snatched Dottle, who's running. You were running towards June, right, Dottle?
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
So then June runs the opposite direction, grabs you, and slides into the cavern with MacLeod. All you see when you slide in there is MacLeod's body lying on the ground, and the brass automaton lying broken on the floor.
Oh my god. Okay, June is gonna save my friend.
Calder, Illyri, what are you doing in this situation so that I have a full grasp of the moment? I know where Saray is. I don't know where you two are.
How thick is this smoke situation? Can we clearly see what's happening with everybody?
You see shadowed figures moving around. It's hard to see exactly what's happening.
Counting for a sound off and counting 2 responses and then a bunch of shuffling, Cal's just probably gonna go towards where the noise is coming from and like try to investigate what's going on with people, because you know.
I would like to I guess I just like have this thing in my head where I imagine Illyri is standing looking at this piece of parchment, and like the calculations are going on over her head like some anime character where she's just like has like this really perplexed look and over what am I doing, like this doodle looks like that doodle. What do I do here? Okay. I would like to put the parchment away into my pocket again. And is there anything in my skill set that would possibly make it so I could start to figure out how I'm going to leave? Perhaps if there's like a better path that I could go down. I noticed that everybody, I guess, is focusing on this specific area, and I think my character has decided based on that morality check that perhaps we're going to take the opportunity to abandon this party and go somewhere else.
Yeah, make a survival check. Okay, 22 is great. So you're going to, as you look around the caverns, you know two things. You know that if you go back the way that you had come, there's a good chance that you're going to run into whoever's been chasing after you. And doing that on your own is probably not the best idea. However, if you go deeper into some of these caverns, you would be able to track your way through the path that these worms have taken and find your way back out in the crypt somewhere. From what you've learned about these creatures, they feast on corpses, and they have been gathering bones here. So you know that since you're in this section of Waterdeep known as the City of the Dead, that you are surrounded by graves and crypts, and that eventually one of those crypts is going to lead back up to the surface world, and that you're going to be able to make your way back, and that you could do that on your own. But if you go the opposite direction and go back the way that you came and get back onto kind of the main pathway that the party diverged from to come down here, that you are going to most likely not be able to do that easily on your own. You could try, but it would be dangerous.
Then I think I'm just gonna hang out. Where'd my mandolin go off to? Where's Cedarwind? I'm gonna try and find my mandolin if it's around.
Yeah, it's on your back.
There we go.
Yeah, so you pull your mandolin out and you check it out. The strings are a little disjointed and it's out of tune now.
All right, I'm just going to passively fiddle with that and let them go on about their thing, because I think Illyri hasn't calculated which risk to take yet. So
still sort of dreamlike, you move your hand across the scar on your throat and you kind of absent-mindedly pluck at the mandolin. Go ahead and make a performance check for me.
Cool. That's so exciting.
17. You bring the mandolin very quickly back into tune, and you're very satisfied with the clarity of the tones. As these kind of pure and perfect mandolin tones ring out in the cavern, echoing all around you, Hawk and Juniper, I want you each to roll a... I'll make this a dexterity kind of roll to see which one of you gets to MacLeod first. It just seems like a fair way to do it, since you both have the same objective.
It's 17.
It's me. It's me.
17 is what you got. Is that what you said, Hawk? And then what did you get, Juniper?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20 is going to do it. So, Juniper, you with Dawdle under your arm rush into this cavern, but just steps away from you is Hawk. And you see this presence, and I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
Okay.
Dawdle, you have no choice because you're being held. So you don't. I mean, you can make the charisma saving throw to see how you react to it, I guess.
Me?
Yeah.
So 12.
Yeah.
8.
That's a fail. Both of you fail.
Yeah.
So even though you make it to MacLeod first, you stop and you look down and you see kind of the broken, emaciated form of MacLeod on the ground. He looks like a ragdoll that's been tossed. His skin is very pale, and he's even more sallow and pasty looking than like he looks like the life has been drained out of him. And his cheeks are sunken, and his eyes are open, and he's staring up at the ceiling, and he blinks very weakly and turns his head. And as you meet his eyes, you see the figure, the shadow, moving closer to you. And you panic, and you immediately start running further down the tunnel. You're going deeper into this cavern because that's the only way that you can get away from Hawk immediately, is to escape deeper into this tunnel. So you and Dawdle, you're screaming as fear overtakes you. Maglo, make a charisma saving throw. Yeah, so you're terrified as well as the figure of this undead angelic hawk emerges into the cavern, and immediately in your mind, the last moments before you passed out flash before you, and those deep black eyes as Maglo, as you were actually, Maglo, you were saving Hawk's life. You managed to remove the poison using some of the tinctures that you had in your bag, and were able to mix something together, a concoction that kind of quickly pulled the poison out of his body. And as soon as you did that, he gained awareness. His eyes were black, and he grabbed onto your throat and drained the life out of you. And so you relive this moment as you see him tracking closer to you.
Maglo remembers his old captain and what he did in a moment of hubris and what they became. And he's like, I'm so fucking sorry, Hawk. And he's gonna load a ray of sickness into his pistol and shoot Hawk. 24?
That hits.
I think a 24 hits, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, now you hit.
So that's 15 poison damage. You are poisoned again, Hawk.
He's just gonna attempt to center of mass at the beginning, just like shoot him in the like stomach, and then is going to grab his bag and start rifling through it for his experimental elixirs.
That puts me at 33.
Yeah. So it does hit center mass. It actually breaks through the armor, and there is an enormous dent and a penetrating hole from where the bullet emerged through the armor, and blood kind of leaks out from this wound. Hawk is pushed back one step and turns, and the wings reflexively open wider as he's pushing himself into this cavern.
I pull the syringe out and I just let it fall to the floor. I kneel down next to Maglo, and then he puts his hand over his head, and he uses his ability of healing hands to originally at first restore 7 hit points. So kind of this pale white light hovers over Maglo's chest. He uses all 20 points of his lay on hands. So what Hawk does is he ends up turning off his necrotic shroud, but instead of just the smoke and the shadow of his wings dissipating, they actually travel down his hand into his arm, and then they kind of like flow into Maglo, like through his mouth and his ears and his nose, and just all of that flows into him.
Maglo has turned and weakly kind of grabbed onto his bag, and I know you have 1 hit point and you could technically probably fight this all off and run away, but do you have a problem, Maglo, with allowing this to happen? Do you want to try to resist?
Yeah, he's going to try and resist. He thinks that Hawk isn't human, or like isn't him anymore. And even to the point where when Hawk starts to grab him, and I imagine easily overpower this 1 hit point very weak man, Maglo's going to start screaming for help.
Okay, so that's how we're gonna do this. Okay, so you're screaming for help. Hawk is grabbing you. You have very little way of resisting this in your state. There is a swirl of shadow, and there's a figure standing directly behind Hawk. We're going to come back to you on top of the round. Calder and Illyri, you see this figure as the smoke starts to dissipate. Is there anything that the two of you want to do while this is happening?
Ew. That sound comes out of Cal. Like,
Jinkies.
I think Cal would look at Illyri being like a sort of similarly spirited person, like, trying to gauge if this is like a runaway moment or if they should let them sort of work it out. This seems like a really like a personal issue to Cal. What do you think?
That definitely looks like an over there problem.
Jesus.
There are more mandolin tones that ring out through the cavern. Calder, do you want to move in on this situation, or do you want to stay where you're at?
So June and Dawdle ran away like in
You've
fear?
lost track of them. You think that they're down the passageway with Hawk, kind of blocking that passageway now.
Oh, so they ran towards Hawk.
They ran towards MacLeod. Hawk then was pursuing. Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, I'll go, I guess.
All right, so you
So
start
just looking at
moving
Illyri and like,
Okay.
sigh and then go for it.
So you start moving there, and as you do, Calder, you see this swirl of shadow, and immediately Hawk gets pulled into it, and it slams shut.
Fuck.
MacLeod,
well, fuck.
you
Did I get to heal MacLeod at least?
You do. You heal MacLeod. So how much health was that?
That was 27 hit points.
So you get 27 hit points back, MacLeod. But in this instant, he's like kind of looming above you as this necrotic shroud starts to melt, and you feel this undead energy, this shadow energy, start to rack across you. And then this swirl of energy, and you see a hand kind of reach on Hawk's back and pull him inward. And you are now alone. You see Calder run up on you, but you have, as terrifying as it was, your wounds are better than they were.
As like I imagine, as Hawk was doing that, like MacLeod was like, even though trying to like weakly bat him away, was like refilling his pistol again, and then like rested it on his head, and then Hawk disappeared, and then as soon as he disappeared, MacLeod like fired it, and he just went poof, just off
as
into the
soon like his
side of the
head,
cavern.
like he kind of melts into the shadow. It's not like he gets pulled back into a hole. It's like he kind of like pulls back into shadow and disappears. And so like you actually have this up against his temple, and Hawk, as you start to feel this hand, and you don't know what's happening, you just feel this coldness, and you start to dissipate, and this bullet moves through your head, and you actually witness it as it's traveling through your temple as your form just disappears.
I just want to say, Hawk feels the gun go up against his head and does absolutely nothing about it.
So Hawk disappears. Calder, this is what you walk in on, and as you do, you just kind of move your head to the side as a musket ball like barrels past you and hits the wall behind you.
You all right there, buddy?
What the fuck happened? I swear.
Yeah, I was hoping you might tell me a little of that, maybe.
No, I tried something on Hawk and it failed.
You shoot him in
So-
the face, you mean?
No, before that, I tried to heal him with something, and it clearly didn't work. He like has turned into something. It's like a vampire or like a fucking zombie thing. I don't know what it is, but it's fucking dangerous, right? We just have to. Where the fuck is everyone? Where's everyone gone? June!
You hear these mandolin tones echoing through the cavern as someone is tuning an instrument.
We're around. Do you know where he went? Did you see?
I don't know. I tried to heal Hawk the poison, and then
shoot him in the face, and then all of that
no,
failed.
it's not. It's right. Okay. And then he fucking did. He turned into like some vampire thing or something. This has happened before, and it sucks. But Hawk isn't Hawk anymore, and we have to find him. And I don't know where the fuck he is. But
is that true, MacLeod? Did you try to shoot Hawk in the face?
I tried to shoot the thing that is possessing his body. I've dealt with this before, and I've done it before. I thought I got the fucking solution of it down, but I didn't.
MacLeod, with all due respect, we've all dealt with this before, but none of us have
no,
tried
you don't
to kill
understand.
Hawk in the
Right?
process.
No, you don't. I've specifically dealt with people coming back and them not being right. Okay, and I think I've done it again. I did it to someone I knew before. They died, and I brought them back, and they turned into some fucking feral vampire thing, and they're so strong. And I think I've just done it to Hawk. So
Should
right.
we maybe
Okay, so
Saray.
Okay, so yeah. June puts Dawdle down.
Thank you.
MacLeod, did you see where Saray went?
No, I didn't. I just woke up, and I think he did something to me. It might just be the adrenaline, but I don't know. I think I just need 5 minutes. Okay, 5
minutes. Okay. Is
right,
the
can
mandolin?
someone run me down what happened when I was down, please? Where the fuck is the carrion crawler?
Do you want a hug?
No, I'm okay. Thank you. Right.
Okay,
so that's done.
she looks. I mean, you have what? 15? Do you have 15 points left, Otto?
10.
So like there are rakes against her skin, and her coat is completely saturated. Juniper's garb is completely smeared with blood. You are lying in a pool of gore as well, MacLeod, and you look off into the cavern past Calder, and you see the smoking husk of this enormous carrion crawler.
And I believe that Calder is covered in multiple kinds of black goo at this point. If goblin blood is black, and then also earlier the other worms, I just got covered with black goo. So he's just like,
Wait, just quickly. I'm bleeding goblin blood.
You are bleeding goblin blood.
Oh.
No.
I'm just gonna take a second to look at my hands again for a little bit longer.
Right.
I thought that was I guess me and Dawdle both thought that was the worm's blood on me for a little. I didn't realize that was my own.
That's your own.
June is gonna cast Prayer of Healing. I can do up to 6 people. So everyone in this cavern, not Illyri, because she's all the way over there.
she just did her business.
Illyri's mandolin was out of tune, so if you have a song.
Everyone gets 18.
Whoa. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like MacLeod denies it when June is like doing the prayer. He's like, actually, I'm alright, and then
June just
and then I kind of reluctantly is just like, I don't want it. We'll have words about it later.
I don't want your god healing, but I'll take it because I'm really badly
I don't want your
hurt.
god healing, but I'm bleeding a lot. So.
Okay, who is playing that instrument? And June just kind of like walks out and goes, "Hey, what is up with you?"
Preparing something for our guests?
Our guests?
Your friends down the path that are joining us? Welcoming them with fine tunes?
Oh my god.
Excuse the fuck out of me. What?
Also, yeah, those the things before from the ship that took our forms and tried to trick us. I shot one while the beast was yeah.
The Oblak. It was
by the way,
it was an Oblak, June.
Oh, an Oblak. Thank you.
Any song requests?
Real quickly, June, make an intelligence roll. Just
I'm
really
tired.
quick.
June is over it. She got a 9. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, something about Obelix isn't right. You remember a lot of words being thrown around, but something about that doesn't sit right.
Yeah, I don't know if that's exactly what this is, but however, whatever it is, the things that took our form, I saw one, I shot it, it went screaming before all this happened, and I don't know how you're playing an instrument right now. And June just kind of looks like she's on the edge of a mental breakdown. And without saying anything, I sit down, cross my legs, and immediately start meditating. Like I shut down.
Can I grab June's hand?
You may.
Grab June's hand.
I don't respond, but like, you there.
So
I am very uncomfortable with the energy we have created in the studio today.
So what about these friends? Illyria, what do you mean friends?
Well, I thought perhaps you all could answer that.
Are there people coming? Did you see people or hear people?
You can't hear them?
No! Look at my dinky little normal ears! What do you think these pick up? Not a lot.
Do I hear them coming?
Nobody hears anything from above right now. It's all just the echoes of the cavern and the space that you're in now.
Okay, so Hawk's missing. There are probably other people, or do we know that they're people? Do we know that they're not just two-legged monsters?
So June kind of like relaxes and she like snaps her eyes open and looks directly at Calder. It had 5 eyes. It could change shape.
So then he wouldn't.
That is all I know.
It's not the same
Yes,
thing.
ma'am.
It didn't fucking vampire style. So that must be.
Doddle,
Hawk
you're all
being Dork's
magical
side.
and stuff. Do you have some kind of way to like track him? Find out where he might have gone? I don't know.
Where's Saray?
You said that Hawk vanished. Wait, and Saray can do the thing. Remember with the animal, the one that I tried to get you not to shoot.
Oh,
the one that's in the horrific demon plane, the one that's.
Oh my god.
Probably we should have killed.
Do you think?
Right. So, Hawk doing that doesn't make sense if it's me doing it, because then that would mean that Hawk would have to die first. And I don't think he fully died. And also, I used a potion that I use all the time. Like, that chemical concoction is down to a fucking T. So that just means that Hawk went dark side again.
People in the head. It's great. I'm glad you're catching up with the rest of us.
No. He went dark side. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, Doddle?
What, Doddle, what? Oh, God, look at the stadia. Come here. I have to fix you up.
I think June took care of it, but thank you very much for
Still
the
once
offer.
over.
But is it possible that Saray did to Hawk what she had done to me at one point, where she just kind of grabs a person and brings them into...
What, timeout?
That's exactly what I'm thinking. If she's not nowhere to be seen, I don't know what else could have happened. Unless they both were taken.
I mean, they're both part of the same thing, right?
Do we leave or do we stay here and wait for them?
I wait here? No, actually, because Saray, last time she did it, she appeared like, what, 50, 60 foot from us? So if we move too far away, she's going to end up just completely disappearing.
I'll just lie flat down on the floor.
We need to think about Hawk going demon mode again.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be a problem for us.
Larry, do you have a question?
Yeah, I just showed up here. I know, I just kind of woke up and I'd really like to get out of whatever this is. So if I'm either going to claw my way out of this tunnel or maybe we meet up with your friends.
Well, like MacLeod said, I think that we should definitely see what happens, because last time Saray did this, she ended up, again, not too many feet away, and we don't want to be too far from her. But also you. I don't trust you. I don't know you. I would like to keep you in our line of sight, though.
I mean, you remember her. You remember her from the Grave Master's table.
If I may be clear, I don't know any of you, and I don't trust any of you, and I want to get the hell out of here.
I mean, it's not like we don't want to get out of here.
Yeah, don't trust you at all. Especially with the whole Master's Ear thing and necromancy. I don't trust you, and I would very much so like to keep you in our line of sight. So if you can just stay where you are, that'd be fantastic. I won't make a move to hurt you. Just stay where you are, Miss Pink Hair.
Illyria.
Illyria. Thank you.
I'll stay.
I have a question. June, you work for the world, correct?
Yes, Dottle, yes.
Do you like the beach?
It's nice at times. The water can be scary.
O'Leary, I noticed that you bear striking resemblance to sea elves. Do you also like the beach, but sometimes think water can be quite frightening?
I think I know a song for that.
See that's what I mean.
I was just gonna say perhaps you have things in common that we haven't discovered yet.
When she says that, Calder lies down flat on the ground and puts his hands over his head.
June takes her hands and puts them on Dottle's cute little cheeks, and she just like kind of like smushes them like she's a little baby, and she goes, "There are a lot of people who have a lot of things in common." And then she puts her forehead on Dottle's, and she goes, and she whispers for only you to hear, "It doesn't mean you can trust all of them. She has been touched by necromancy, Dottle. Be careful." So anyways, I say we stay here and wait.
We'd all rather be on topside, hanging out, not being hunted by a gang, fixing up like a 8,000 dragon mark dragon. But we can't all be doing that, can we? So we're gonna stick together. We're gonna any personal problems, just gonna nip in the bud right now.
Everybody
have to make sure we're ready for Hawk when he gets ready.
Okay.
Oh no.
Make perception checks as MacLeod's going through this.
Also, O'Leary, to explain MacLeod's comment, he has a clockwork dragon that he's trying to put together.
Oof. I'm lying on the floor with my hands over his eyes.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, it's never. Oh, Dottle. That's a natural one. Go ahead and roll it again.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we all have very cute little hobbies, O'Leary. Like Juniper likes to meditate sometimes. I'm sure Saray has something.
O'Leary, there is a sound in the cavern behind all of you as something shuffles. Do you continue to play your mandolin, or do you stop?
Yeah, I keep playing.
And so you continue to play, and there is a shadowy figure that leaps up onto the corpse of the carrion crawler, the large carrion crawler, and then leaps down and starts walking towards the group. And as the smoke kind of dissipates, you see a ragged, tattered-looking black cat that steps up to the group, and no one else seems to notice, but it just kind of sits pertly on the edge of the cavern, and just licks itself and starts to wash itself. And as it does, like a slough of fur and skin kind of like knocks off as it has exposed more of its skull.
That's disgusting.
I love him.
Do I see the cat at least? I rolled a 13.
No. You got a 13. Yeah, you see the cat.
Okay. Gross.
Hawk, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Here he go.
It's a 12.
Okay, so you catch sight of your senses fairly quickly because so many strange things have been happening to you recently that it's almost as if at this point you're acclimated to the shift between the shadow and the prime material plane. And your guts are still kind of reeling, but you know that you've traveled between spaces again. And you stumble backwards, and you've expended all of your energy in saving MacLeod, and you fall backwards, kind of weakened and slumped. And standing above you is Saray.
I just look up. Oh, hey.
Well, that wasn't what I wanted to do.
Wait. I thought you were saving me from MacLeod trying to shoot me.
Nope.
She says that, and you notice now that she's got a dagger in her hand.
Oh, you were gonna kill me. Okay.
No. I was trying to knock you out. So you could, get out of whatever that form. But
you guys realize I have complete control over myself when I'm in that form, right?
Well, I don't know.
Well, I keep telling you guys this.
All I have to say is it did not look good from this end.
Yeah, of course it doesn't look good from any end. I mean, honestly, I don't blame MacLeod trying to shoot me. Let's be real here. It's not a good look, sis.
No,
like,
not at all. Do I still see what I saw before with like the wings or hands, like puppeteering him and all that crap? He's just normal now.
No, you don't see any of that. No, and it wasn't puppeteering. It just had hands on the back, like somebody was standing behind.
Holding him. Yeah.
Holding him up.
You had like hands on your back. Skeletal hands.
Yeah, it must have been her.
Oh, I'm
that
sure.
Makes sense.
Okay, well, now that that's over, I need to get back.
You have to wait. Are you leaving me here?
No, I'm taking you with me. Grab your wrist and I use my final key point.
I just yell, wait, before you do that.
Oh my god, we can't stay here very long.
I'm just saying, is it a good idea for me to go back?
Yes. It's not a good idea for you to stay here.
They're chasing me.
They're chasing all of us. It's not all you.
No, you don't understand. It's not just the Xanathars. The Xanathars are working with Mind Flayers, and the Mind Flayers have been after me since before I met any of you. I'm just thinking, maybe before you pulled me in, when MacLeod was going to shoot me in the head, all I could think was, maybe that's one less thing they'll chase, Like, they won't be able to follow you guys.
The Mind Flayers are the least of our worries. Each of us has something coming after us. Not just the Mind Flayers. There's something else. So don't worry about the Mind Flayers.
You're talking about the Raven Queen.
I'm talking about everything. So let's go, and I'm gonna grab your wrist and I'm gonna fucking open a portal, spend my key, and go back in.
That's your final key point.
Yep.
I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Mike can also make a wisdom saving throw if he wants to not follow.
Well, yeah, I think Hawk would resist a little bit, at least. 13?
So Saray has vastly defeated your roll and grabs onto you and pulls you through, and you pull back, trying to kind of like root your spirit in place, but you feel this strength inside of her that's unexpected. As she flings you out, you kind of roll into the cavern, and your back kind of hits the wall as you're now on the ground, and Saray steps out of the shadow next to you.
Yeah.
Is he normal when he's in?
Yes, he's normal
again. Okay.
He's been normal since you grabbed him.
Oh, okay.
Then June sees normal Hawk and zooms for him because he just hit a freaking wall. She checks him and then makes eye contact with you, Hawk, and just slaps you across the face. And then she hugs you.
Always slap me.
And then she hugs you, and then she stands up and turns away. That's all.
Cal's just he takes his hands off his face and just ooh, looks like he just witnessed something. It's okay.
She's very happy you're back, but she's also mad at you.
Very anime.
Very
so
anime.
You're right there, board.
Ow.
She's still playing that mandolin.
Never
So
stop.
can we leave now?
It's alright, you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
June's gonna cast Cure Wounds on Hawk.
June, it would require a restoration for you to be able to remove the poison, however.
You're Okay, I thought you weren't poisoned. Why are you poisoned again?
Cal just looks at Maglo
What was that,
To be
Maglo?
fair, it's actually a very natural reaction to what MacLeod saw. Please don't hold it against him.
I'm not mad, but can we fix the normal Hawk?
I'm working on it. Give me a second. Putting random shit into a vial.
And then June's kind of just going off in your ear, Hawk. I just can't believe that you would do that again. And then you scared the crap out of all of us. And I was worried, and I'm angry at you. And I just.
Hawk just kind of scrambles up the wall a little bit. How far are we from the carrion crawler by chance, or where we saw the drow go down?
You're probably about 20 feet away.
Okay. I'm gonna hobble.
Dottle's just looking like.
I'm just kind of like.
with her hands to her face.
I'm just kind of nodding, to everything Juniper said, and I kind of stumble towards the carrion crawler, and I take my gauntlet and I kind of press down one of my fingers into my palm and take like a pinprick of blood. And I smear it on the ground, and I'm gonna cast Detect Magic to see if I can find out what happened to the drow, because I know that motherfucker was using magic items.
Mm-hmm. You sense magic coming from inside the carrion crawler.
All right, I stumble towards the carrion crawler. I take my sword like this, and I'm just gonna slice it open in the general area where I feel the magic coming from.
Cal's face goes from like smugly watching this good ship content to like, ugh, as he slices this thing open.
This avalanche of intestine pile out at Hawk's feet, and there's this sickening smell that reeks across the space. Everybody, I guess everyone, make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, thanks, Hawk.
I thought it smelled bad on the outside.
I throw up.
Doddle.
Oh.
Oh.
I have a goblin nose.
Calder, you smelled worse.
Yeah.
You're like, eh.
Sailing.
Other, you're okay.
Other sailors.
Hawk, you're okay.
June is flowery, so she just...
You are curious, actually. You think there might be something that some of the smells are strangely acidic. You think you might be able to harvest some spell components from this creature if you're careful. There's a certain acidity in the air that kind of intrigues you. You stop thinking about how putrid it is, and you start thinking about how useful it is. And Juniper, you vomit, and Doddle, you fall to your knees. Go ahead and roll one more time to see if you get another natural one. No, okay. So you don't pass out from vomiting, but you are very ill, and you fall to the ground, and the smell just kind of like tipped the scales for you, as far as any of this is concerned.
Like June grew up in fields of lavender, and
Lord, can I have one patient at a time, please? And then he goes to Hawk, like, look me in the eyes. And then he casts light. He gets his little like torch thing, and then shines it in his eyes, like follow my finger.
To be clear, Hawk is standing in front of an eviscerated carrion crawler. Are you stepping between him and the carrion crawler?
Yeah, he needs to fix the poison that he's got, so he has a small vial of antidote. And he stands at the edge and is like, Hawk, come here.
1 second. 1 second. There's something in this motherfucker.
After a moment of searching, you find the corpse of the drow, and very much dead.
Oh, good.
Very, very, very much dead.
Stay dead. Sorry.
Yeah, just haul it out. I'm gonna start.
It's covered in gore and viscera and stomach acids. Its flesh has already been eaten through by the strong acid of the carrion crawler's stomach. And you pull it out, and it's kind of sizzled, and there's this like sickening smell from it. But while the leather armor and all of the clothing has also begun to deteriorate, there are a few items on the figure that have not yet deteriorated.
I would love to search it.
Okay, so
you gotta say everything.
You find a ebony dagger.
Ooh.
You find a pouch with 25 electrum pieces.
Nice.
And you find a book, but unfortunately everything inside of it has been dissolved and ruined. The last thing that you find is a small glowing marble about that big.
Oh shit. So obsidian dagger.
Other things have been destroyed. She had other weapons on her. They are gone now. However, you find those items.
So that scimitar she had earlier is gone, I'm guessing. Okay.
Yeah, you don't see it.
All right, I'm gonna hand off the dagger to MacLeod. Here's a good one.
I agree, but I need to look at my patient. Can you come over here, please?
Hey, while all this is going on, I just want to continue to play my melody, but if possible, do a perception check on the sounds that I'm hearing down the other pathway. And if possible, I'd like to move towards it to kind of like use the mandolin in my ears to like figure out how much time do I got between those guys get here.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check then.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. So with a 20, yeah, you're striking chords and you're kind of listening. There is something back there. You weren't hearing footsteps, but you were hearing a slight murmuring echo. And as you're listening and you're hitting notes, you realize that something is imitating your notes back to you.
Oh.
Like it's a separate echo that's being created by something else.
I'm
And
tempted to continue to play to hear if this thing will play with me.
yeah, it's in the chamber above you, and you think that it's coming closer and then moving back away.
Good to know.
And she
Continue to assess the situation while everybody else continues to meander about their own.
She's like, good luck.
I'll have you continue to assess the situation as it moves along here, and I'll inform you if anything changes, assuming that that's what you're doing while everyone else is kind of moving about. We're out of initiative order here, so just tell me what you all would like to do.
Okay, so like I said, there was the thing that imitated us before that was above. What are we gonna do here? Where are we gonna go?
I'm gonna look toward the black cat. And
It stands up.
as I finish up vomiting because that smell was horrendous.
Okay. I didn't see your roll. Oh, it was a 6. Yeah, you.
It was a 6. Yeah, no, I vomit everywhere. I once you say that, where are we going? I like stand up, wipe my mouth clean, and I look at the cat.
It's looking upward.
I think we have to go back up.
Small friend, is there a place we could perhaps rest for the night?
I don't think that would be wise, Dottle.
Well,
At least not here.
I don't disagree that this place might not be the best place to rest, but we definitely need to rest.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So how do we suggest getting back up? Does the cat know a way?
It's just looking up and meowing.
All right.
Do I still have... Does anyone have a rope? Do I still have a rope?
Oh, wait a minute.
So, MacLeod, you've been observing this cat for a while now. It seems to function more like a compass and not a sentient guide. Like, it's just pointing you in the direction you need to go, not necessarily, with human intelligence leading you to a place. It's just, it knows the direction. Illyri, I will also tell you that having thought about this already, you do know of ways to get through these tunnels. You just don't know if it's the way that they want to go.
Alex sits up and opens his coat and reaches in, clearly looking reflexively for his flask. And then he just,
yeah, it's gone.
Yeah. And I would like to leave.
May I go up to Calder and hand him the flask of water that he had given me before and place it in his hands and say, I'm sorry, it's not exactly what you're looking for, but perhaps this can give you a little hope that you may fill it with everything you want in the future.
Cal just takes the flask and it looks like he might sass you for a second, but then he just goes he takes a drink.
It's water.
This
Yeah.
water.
He throws up. All right.
Does
So
MacLeod know that it's water?
Now you do.
I didn't say it was water, I said it's not what you're looking
Okay.
You could roll an insight check.
I think I'll leave it up to the characters as to whether or not they're able to suss it out with that much information. But like, I mean, I ask you all to role play accordingly. If you think your character would be too dense to, catch it, then don't worry about it.
That's funny.
After Mago looks Hawk over, he he fixes the little thing that he was doing into a pill. It's like, have this, have some water, drink it, you'll be fine. Sorry for shooting you. I apologize.
No, it was a perfectly logical reaction. I gulp the water and I take the pill.
Yeah, thanks for saving me, whatever. And he mumbles shit under his breath and thank you for saving me. Right. And then he as seeing Calder drink, he gets Calder's attention and then pulls out a small thing of rubbing alcohol, literally rubbing alcohol, and is like, got this, it's not much, but if you really want it.
Oh my god.
I go blind.
Do you drink the grain alcohol? It smells like fire.
Yeah.
My boys in the army used to do it when it was rough. So if you really want it, I can make it so it doesn't make you go blind.
Cal looks at him like he's just giving him the fountain of youth. Just I don't know what he drink. I mean, I feel like he might just taste it.
In D&D, you can do the impossible, drink rubbing alcohol, kids.
I know. Mago distills it. He distills it in a small thing, and then it's fine.
Editor's note: we're gonna want to put a disclaimer in front of this one about rubbing alcohol. But go ahead and
I feel like you would smell
Mago,
it.
Yeah, distills the rubbing alcohol with magical components that you can't get in the real world.
Hey kids, if you fight a giant worm in real life, you will die, as well as drinking rubbing alcohol. The actions that we commit in realms apart should in no way be a reflection of the gravity of situations in the real world. Please, for the love of God, under any circumstances, do not drink rubbing alcohol.
Cal takes the little previously rubbing alcohol, now whatever it is, and just said, I've always wanted to try this. And he just takes a swig.
Calder, out immediately, just fully gone.
Yep.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh man.
There we go. Oh, watch this be
Oh, whoops, that was a formaldehyde.
Alright.
You
oh shit, that was pure acid. Sorry, kid.
No, you sputter a little bit, and it burns wickedly, but it does kind of give you a warm feeling that water wasn't. So
oh my god.
It's not bad.
Oh man. He just thank you. He puts it in his jacket.
So while they're doing that,
only.
June's kind of looking around, because she's been keeping her eye on Ellery because she just does not trust Miss Pink-haired necromancy. And I want to roll. Did I notice Ellery listening for something? Can I roll for that?
You could make an insight.
Okay. $13.
You're beginning to wonder if her playing the mandolin is intentional, if there's another purpose to it, but you don't know what she's doing.
Hey, Saray. Can you come here for a second?
Yeah. What's up?
So I have this sneaking suspicion that pink-haired person that I think she's playing her instrument for a specific reason. I don't know what it is, but she's acting a little funky, and this entire time you guys were gone, she's just been playing and looking around and being extremely sketchy.
I'm not sure what to think. She hasn't done anything bad yet, but
she hasn't done anything at all. Isn't that?
It's a little suspicious. Yeah, let's keep an eye on her. We don't want her to think that we think she's suspicious.
Yeah, I'm telling you because
yeah,
well,
no,
you know why.
We always got each other's back. Whenever there's something going down, we're always on the same side. So Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
you feel that way.
Let's just keep our. It's true.
Yeah.
Just keep our eyes peeled, you know, and watch out for that.
Yeah.
Do
Also,
you have a rope on you by any chance?
I don't. Are you trying to climb up?
Yeah. Get us out of here. Does anyone have a rope on them?
I do have a rope on me.
Perfect.
Does anyone have like a
50 feet of
grapple
rope.
or something to like latch onto the top?
Well, if we tie the rope onto me, I can climb up there, and then we can all follow suit. And
Or
that
are
way,
we
I can
not
also...
gonna have to climb through the kind of bone chasm of the thing? Is that
Yep.
not gonna be super fucking?
It's gonna suck, but at least the rope will make sure that we don't get lost.
And no one has any other suggestions besides just. I mean, it seems like that's the only one. I just don't want Saray to.
My concern, we could set the whole damn thing on fire, but my concern is we're down here. So.
Princess, you got anything?
Flight, movement.
2 things.
Part the
quick-
bone. Is that a spell?
Question. First, can I possibly insight check Illyri, see what she's doing with that mandolin thing going on there?
Go ahead and make an insight check. Everybody can have one.
Because I did ask her. I was like, "Why are you playing this?"
That's an 18.
Yeah, she's not just idly playing this. You're not sure what she's doing, but the 2 things that come to mind are she's either trying to get people's attention or she's trying to figure out something using the echo.
Wow, jeez, oh my gosh. Sprouting out my dark evil wings really makes me tired, need to go to the bathroom and stuff. I need to go down this tunnel, but it would be good to have a lookout if we take a bathroom break and stuff. I don't know. Hey, Illyri, can you guard the tunnel while I do this thing in a different tunnel because, sanitary stuff.
Already on it, kid. Take your time. Got it.
Cool, awesome. I just slap Illyri twice on the shoulder. Yeah, let's go this way.
Can I roll? Can I do a check on Hawk because he's acting all strange?
Yeah, make an insight check.
Sorry.
I am so convincing.
Oh, Hawk! I got a 19.
Yeah, he's up to something. You don't know what it is. He's just up to something.
But he's up to something, and he talked to her. June is intelligent. I think he's picking up what I picked up. Hey, Larry, you know what? Why don't I chill with you while Hawk goes and relieves himself? Yeah, and so June just kind of sits next to Illyri and is like.
Do you stop playing the mandolin or do you keep going? You stop. Okay.
No, I'm still playing it. If I have the skill to be able to strum and answer questions.
Yeah. Of course.
Cal is looking around at everybody, just extremely confused. Why is everyone talking like they're teaching me how to read?
May I, can you teach me a few chords?
Do you have an instrument with you?
I don't. Possibly you could,
I just pull this gore-soaked wooden flute out of my pack. Here you go. You might want to wash it. And just there's a strand of fluid, sticky flame. So first off, really good mandolin playing. I gotta say, you should do gigs. Do you do gigs? You should
cut him off right there and say you might want to wash it. The other instrument.
Yeah.
Actually, June just kind of looks at Hawk in the eye and tosses it back at him. I think if you let me, Illyri, I'd love to try your instrument. I've never seen anything quite like it where I'm from.
Illyri, make an insight check.
Jesus Christ!
What's this going on? Magler's digging through the carrying crawler trying to get spell components, but then stops and just looks toward Calder and then looks towards Saray. As we're
I've never wanted someone to fail something.
Make an Arcana check to get those components.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh wow.
May I say that Dawdle is just may I say that while this is going on, Dawdle's just sat down and is now examining the black blood on her hands and checking out its consistency and moving it around to see its thickness and stuff, examining her new blood.
Yeah, yeah. It's different. It's not red. It's kind of a deep black. As you look at it and you smear it out, you notice that it's green. It's just very, very dark. So when you thin it out, it becomes clear that it is also green.
Kyle's just watching her do this, and he kind of like
that's so
pats
evil.
her on the back. Just there you go, buddy.
So MacLeod, you actually do pull a couple of bile sacs out of this creature. You distill from them a couple of vials that you can use to experiment with later. But you can write down how many empty vials do you think you actually have?
Before carrying things of like this, like things that he can experiment with later, I don't know, around like 5-ish.
Okay.
I'm going
Yeah,
off of like how many spells he's used, because he has to empty shit out for it.
Yeah, you'd have to have glass because it eats through anything else. And you get 5 vials of carrion crawler bile. And Hawk has already kind of stripped everything off. And as you're watching, the drow's body is still slowly just kind of disintegrating underneath the acid of the stomach. Illyri, you are sure that this is not above board. You're not sure what these two are doing, but you don't trust what they're saying right now.
So, can I play?
Have you played an instrument before?
Absolutely not.
What makes you want to learn now?
You just seem so interested in it.
Well, who am I to keep you from trying something new? As you wish.
And so you hand the mandolin to Juniper, and it's cold to the touch, but it feels like an instrument. Have you actually handled the mandolin before, Juniper?
She has not.
Okay, so yeah, it's cold to the touch. It feels like wood and strings and metal.
If I may?
Yeah.
I'd like to assist Juniper with the finger placements of G.
As you're teaching me G, June is such a jerk. June turns her head slowly to you and looks in your eyes and casts silence on the Mandalorian.
On the Mandalorian?
And the whatever it's called. I said Mandalorian, didn't I?
I love that. I love it.
This is the way.
Totally different
mandolin.
game, but here we are.
Can
Yes,
you
it
cast
is.
silence on an object?
It's a 20-foot radius. But...
Yeah, it is actually a radius spell, which means
Yeah,
that
so it's-
everything in the area, including you and Hawk, go silent. And Hawk, are you actually urinating right now?
No, that was supposed to be my cover to ask
okay, I didn't
questions.
I didn't know if you took this moment to actually relieve yourself or not, but
And
you're in the back corner and you notice that the sound just stops.
yeah, it does say centered on a point I choose within range. My point is that instrument. And so as it goes silent, June's gonna step up, walk away from her out of the 20 feet and go, "How's it going over there?" To Leary.
Yeah, no sound. And Juniper, you step out of this circle of silence, and everybody's witnessing this. What is everybody doing while this is happening?
You know, Cal was
Yeah.
just hanging out next to Doddle, just sitting.
Saray,
I think
what are
I
you
walked up to MacLeod to figure out this rope situation.
Yeah, you're going through some rope. So you're all doing whatever small tasks you've created for yourself as you're starting to gather your things up and prepare to leave this chamber. And Juniper, you step out of that silence and you shout what you shout, and from above you, you hear the plunking of a mandolin.
There it is. I told you she was doing something. Saray? Saray? What did I say?
What?
I
She
just
was-
cast silence on her, and now there's something else plucking or stringing. She was calling to something.
How is she doing that? She's here. That's whatever that is up there.
It's imitating whatever song she was playing. It's the same notes.
Is that her fault? You guys have been awful cranky at her for no reason that I've been able to figure out. Let's focus on that. Let's put the blame where it goes.
Didn't you say that there was like someone who was looking like us earlier?
I did say it's no coincidence that she's chosen to stay there the entire time, has been playing the song, and now whatever it is, I think it's possibly one of those things we attacked earlier, is playing the exact same song she is.
I mean, wouldn't you want to figure it out too? I mean, if I heard something mimicking me, I might think that I was going a little crazy. I might want to figure out exactly if
without telling the group.
She's not exactly.
I finally walk out of the silence and I go, maybe she was trying to make it seem like we didn't know, so that way she could find out what it was.
As someone who has lived a life of crime, surprise, surprise, you guys are the most distrustful bastards I've ever met in my life. Why don't we just focus on the issue?
We don't know what the issue is.
It's that, whatever's that up there.
But she knew it was there.
So the sound is coming from up there, right?
It's coming from one of the tunnels above you. Yes.
Just tie this on me, and I'll go look. I'll tug twice if I need to get pulled down. Okay.
I'll pour one out.
I mean,
for
you got
later
a bow,
if you die.
right? You can you're not just gonna be completely
I'm not gonna
defenseless
just pop
up
up there and try and fight it. I'm gonna look and see what's up there.
Saray, do you have dark vision?
Yes, I can see.
Okay.
Can I grab June and say, June, can you please dispel the silence?
If she agrees to not play so we can find the thing.
Or make any noise at all. No yelling, no nothing.
Ellery, do you agree? Just shake your head.
It's like you haven't been the ones yelling at each other this whole time. She hasn't said a word. Whoa.
What is Calder eating in this tunnel?
Jerky?
Bits of the worm.
No,
so funny.
Take the bits off.
No,
That's so funny.
It's like sushi,
you can actually
right?
cook this bit. It's really good.
No, you're eating some jerky. You're eating some jerky, but it's disgusting down here.
Yeah.
And like Calder,
I'm fine.
no lack of appetite though. Still going at it. Good on
It was
you.
that moldy cheese earlier, and now this.
Yeah, he's chowing down. Okay, so do you release the silence spell?
Does Ellery agree? Ellery.
She looks at it. She looks at the mandolin. She like straps it back onto her back.
Aww.
And she dispels silence.
So Ray, how do you attach the rope to the tunnel above you?
I'm just gonna tie it around my waist in a knot, and then I'm gonna hand the other end to Maglo.
Is this 50 feet or is this? How much rope is this?
Just
I got another 50 feet if you need another 50 feet.
Well, the 50 feet got us down here, so we shouldn't need
did.
an extra 50 feet, right?
Okay. I just want to know how many feet of rope you have to work with.
Okay.
Yeah, but we didn't. Mine was cut. We should use 50 just in case you can't find something to tie it round, because mine was tied to my bart that was flying.
Right.
One straight.
Yeah, I just take another 50
50
rope out of my bag and I tie it to the end of the other, so.
Okay, so you have 100 feet of rope.
Wow.
You climb up the side of the cavern, and you make your way into the tunnel, and you start pulling yourself through.
While Saray is getting up there and stuff, may I go over to Alire and be like, if you would allow me, may I see your instrument very quickly?
Cedarwind's sleeping right now. She needs a minute.
I can, I can help you.
Very well.
Okay, I'm going to take my dress and I'm gonna rip off like tiny strands of it.
And I remember because I played violin and there was things you could buy for your violin that if you placed them on the bridge, it would silence them essentially.
And I'm gonna start taking the small strands of my fabric and tying it around the mandolin bridge so that it suppresses it a little bit. And I'm gonna say, I used to play the lute when I was very, very young, and I'd like to play it very late at night when my mother was sleeping. So this allowed people beside me in different rooms to sleep soundly, and I could play by myself. So this might allow you to play, what did you call it?
Her name's Cedarwind.
cedar one, without disturbing the rest of the group, and I'd like to apologize on their behalf, but we will go further into that later when we're not attempting to survive.
The mandolin is very beautifully crafted. It is a beautiful lacquered white mandolin with an inset of this colorful burst of what looks like greens and blues that are inlaid around with silver, so it looks like waves. And the bridge and the neck of the mandolin are inset with mother of pearl. So it looks like a very expensive, very beautifully crafted instrument. Not elven made.
But yes, I've tied essentially a silencer around the bridge of the instrument, so when you play it now, you basically only you will be able to hear it. It's so quiet.
Okay.
Thank you.
So you do that. You start making your way through this tunnel with the rope, and there is the sound of that plucking further away, and it sounds muted, Saray, as you're making your way upward. Is there anything that you want to do as you're climbing this rope?
I'm just gonna try. I'm just gonna try and be quiet and as quiet as I can, climbing up the side. I know that's gonna be really hard because there's bones all around me, and I'm sure they're clattering as I fucking move through this sea of bones. I'm not gonna pop out, whoop, hi. I'm going to kind of shuffle up, so just so I can see and look around and not be obvious.
Make a stealth roll for me, please.
Stealth roll with advantage.
Good. 21. Yeah, you imagine
Wait,
you're
do I
doing
get
this.
to roll again? I get advantage. I want to try and get a better roll.
22. Great.
Yeah.
So you manage to shimmy up, and you are. You don't think anything is aware of your presence, and when you pop your head up into the chamber that you all came out of, you see the shattered bone everywhere, and now you're in a kind of a difficult situation. There seems to be a sinkhole where all of you have kind of fallen through, and a lot of that bone has kind of fell in with you. So it's now kind of below, and you can see the ceiling, and you're carefully kind of pulling yourself up. And not far in the distance, floating in the air, you see a small green fleshy orb with a single wet blood-soaked eye and these tentacles that are floating around it, and there's 4 of them with these little nubby eyes attached to them. And it opens its mouth, and the mandolin echoes out of it. And its little drooling mouth kind of looks around, and it paces around like a dog, kind of back and forth as it floats in place, as if it were waiting for something. And in between the mandolin strikes, you couldn't hear it from below because it was so faint, but you hear,
"Oi, Bud, you gotta keep her quiet! Help!"
Gross. MacLeod, you're very small, and it's very big.
and all these little echoes from the fight before.
Got it.
As the voices of your companions ring out around this creature. And then it goes back, and then there's the mandolin tones.
So this thing looks injured.
It does look injured.
It has a bloody eyeball.
Yeah, it looks injured, but it's still...
How injured? Just a flesh wound, or
Make a medicine check. You're not familiar with this creature,
no.
so I'm going to give you a disadvantage.
Yeah, well...
You're also hanging off of a ledge over a hole. As you still got a 14. I will say that you think that it's pretty bad off, and you don't think that it's a very hardy creature. It seems fairly weak to begin with, and it looks burnt, So it certainly has taken some damage.
I'm going to try. I'm gonna go back down. Oh. No, I'm gonna go back down. I'm gonna.
You climb back down the rope.
I'm gonna pull myself back down and pop out of the bones.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
After a long moment, Saray, you're dropping down off the ceiling, so you come back down.
Okay. And I land 3-point superhero.
I'll give it to you.
Okay. Hey guys, I'm back. There is something up there. It's one of those baby beholder things. It was mimicking what it was hearing, including the fight that we had with the bug.
So I have 2 ideas. One's obvious. One is probably very stupid, but I want you to hear me out. On one hand, we can go up there and kill it. On the other hand, what if we captured it?
Why?
I could do
I don't know.
experiments.
Might have information. It's kind of cute. Like, I'm not gonna lie, those guys are kind of cute.
It did look pretty injured.
Are you
My
feeling
concern
okay,
is, will it communicate? How is it communicating to its leader? Is it psychic? Is it, because if it's psychic, then we don't want to capture it.
Yeah.
We want to kill it on spot and try not let anything or it see us kill it. Or just avoid it entirely.
So we just keep going down these passageways.
I think
maybe
we want to do
find another
something
place
with it. June and I did do a lot of good experiments on the goldfish, and I think if we have another one, not a goldfish obviously, but someone that's like connected to Xanthar in some way, I think that's a good eye. Like, we could get some good useful information. Saray, you are right. They are just going to track us.
Idea.
Toddle.
What if one of us goes up there and it's like, hey, baby beholder, and then he'll come down here, but we'll all be ready, like an ambush.
Oh,
I know. I could like fake that I'm really badly injured, and I can say my name, and then it'll come down, then we'll kill it, and then we'll run.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem like it's waiting for an opportune moment to strike. So maybe if we fool it to think that everyone's dead, or maybe.
Could we pretend that we're all dead? And then it might just do a scan and then leave.
How about we
that too.
pretend one person's dead, we leave them in the center, the rest of us hide in the other tunnels around and wait for it to come down. That way we're at the ready and not out of defense when it comes. If it comes.
I mean, to address the elephant in the room, I'm kind of the most dead out of all of us, so like...
I also volunteer Hawk. No, I'm kidding. But I'm not.
I do, and I'm not.
I don't think you're kidding.
I would not.
Hawk does seem willing, but I look down at my body completely drenched in my own blood, and I'm like, I think I might also be a viable option, though, as I am the smallest out of everybody here.
Oh, and you could just open your eyes and cast something at it, couldn't you?
Absolutely.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's honestly something both of us could do, but you probably have more spell slots. Actually, I don't have any spell
I
slots.
don't have that many, but I mean, I'm just saying that I look like a pretty easy target.
Yeah.
Look at me.
Right.
Out of all of us, I look like Bait.
It's true. I'm sorry.
Do you want to rock, paper, scissors over it, Dawdle?
Hey, Hawk. Maybe we should let Dawdle do it. I think I think you need...
I think
your
we're gonna
sword is
second
like
sword.
something that's so
therapist?
invaluable to us.
How shall we alert? Because I was gonna crawl up there and like go through the moons and be like, and then crawl back down as if I like didn't mean to be seen or anything. But if we're pretending I'm dead, should I like,
Ooh, I have an idea. What if so this is the drow that attacked us. he had this like magic dagger thing. What if you pretend you were like stabbed through with it and you were like, oh, you got me, and then you fell on the ground lifeless and everything. It looks like the drow died killing you.
What might be a more, because I have no experience as a bard. I'm afraid that if I pretend to stab myself and go, it might not be very believable. And especially it would seem very suspicious, I believe, for him to come down here and just see me sprawled out, because he'd be like, where are their friends? How did she die? It might be a little bit more believable if I do crawl up there as if I'm trying to escape, because all my friends are dead, because we killed the thing, but also because I am very, very wounded, which I look like. It might be more believable if I crawl up there, see the baby beholder, go, and to be honest, I might actually be a little bit afraid. So it might be a little bit more of a believable performance because there's very little I have to fake. And then I run down and it looks like I'm just trying to escape.
I think that's a pretty good idea, and then we could be all at the ready for when it comes down.
It would make sense for you guys to be missing because perhaps I buried your bodies or something.
By yourself with your tiny claws.
I mean, it would also be like not unreasonable that you died because and then he points over to the carrion crawler because of that.
No, I know, but it would seem very suspicious for me to just be out in the open, one dead body when you guys are not here. You know?
Do you think that thing is gonna think about this nearly as hard as we are right now? Maybe?
I'm just trying to make sure there is a very shallow margin for error.
But
let's do it.
I think I like Doddle's plan.
Yeah, let's go.
Also,
how does everyone else feel?
Also, the adrenaline might kick into the baby beholder if it was a chase and not a discovery. You know, it would leave them a lot less time to analyze the situation because they'd just be like, better chase the small one.
Right.
Wait, so are you going to kill it, or are we going to kill it when it's not looking at us?
I'm going to lead it down here, and then you all are going to have actions held and then go, as soon as it gets down
perfect.
here.
I'm gonna grab Maglo's the rope that, or I guess it's still tied to me. I'm gonna untie it and I'm gonna tie it around Doddle. And I'm gonna say, same thing. Yep.
Is she going to jump down to us?
Well, so this is what I think. Doddle, you go up, you make your scene, you pull the rope twice, and then we'll pull you down so that way we make sure that you get down fast enough.
That sounds good.
And it'll also look like you got dragged down by something.
Oh, maybe not. I don't want it to look like I got dragged down by something because I want this beholder to go, haha, an easy catch for me. But if I look like I got dragged down by something, the beholder might go, aha, a giant worm is back. Maybe not worth it, you know?
That's fair. I want to make sure you don't get lost. So we won't drag it, but I still think you should have the rope tied to you so you can follow the rope back down.
Yes. That sounds good.
Right, I'm gonna go
like
around.
A good idea to everyone. And I look around. Does that sound like a good idea to everyone?
I'm gonna go around the circle here, and I'm going to ask each of you what your character is doing, and we'll set this up. So, Illyri, what are you doing?
I probably won't attack because but I will. I will read the room and follow and be with the room as they do things. But
they're gonna try to kill this thing.
All right, well they can on their
All right, so you're gonna be supportive in the corner and observe. Saray, where are you in position to the opening of this?
Well, I'm right
passage?
now. I'm tying the rope. The rope that was on me. I'm tying it.
Assuming
around
all this
Doddle.
happens, when Doddle goes up the passageway,
I'm
you?
gonna be I'm gonna be relatively close to where Doddle would pop out following the rope. Because I
Alright.
want to make sure Doddle gets out of the way.
And Maglo, how are you handling this?
Maglo is going to be in a similar place, waiting for Doddle to come out, ready with a med pack if the baby beholder hits her or damages her in some way, he's going to make sure she gets up fine.
And Juniper?
Yeah. Similar. She's gonna be in a ready stance, but June actually is gonna be in the tunnel that is directly below the one where Dottle and the baby's gonna come out, and she's just gonna defensively have her grasping vine.
All right.
At the ready.
We know what Dottle's doing, and we'll come back to you. We're gonna run through that, okay, Mama? Hawk, what are you doing?
I'm going to be kind of hidden behind a hallway or wherever best I can hide, and I'm gonna have my Eldritch Blast ready to pop out and fire it the moment I get the chance.
And Calder?
Yeah, he's gonna ready his action to attack when the thing comes down, and in the meantime, I know he said not 10 minutes earlier that weird alcohol concoction was for emergencies only, but while everyone is talking this out and planning it, he's just
all right, make a Constitution saving throw.
Yes.
Yeah, it burns going down. It's a little harsher. Maybe this go round. Maybe it's cumulative. You're starting to feel a little woozy. Maybe it's a kind of a good thing.
Whoa.
It's
Been a while.
certainly it's hitting you in the warm feels. And you're ready to go. As you stated, you've not horribly failed that roll yet. All right, Dottle, you climb up the passageway and you take your time. Is there anything that you want to do while you're doing this?
As I'm climbing up, and I give my friends a little salute as I crawl up. As I'm going through the bones, I'm gonna be not careful at all. I'm making noise as I'm crawling through the bones.
Okay, so you're dislodging parts of these corpses, and they shatter and kind of break and drop down the hole, and you grab onto a rib cage and rip it off, and there's dust and dirt that falls through this hole, and you start pulling yourself up, and you enter into the cavern that you and your companions originally left behind, that were just this chamber that was filled with bone, and you're now in kind of a sinkhole in the center of all of it, and you look over, and sure enough, you hear the mandolin tones, and then you see this small abomination floating back and forth slowly as it mutters to itself.
Well, I'm actually startled, so I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna crawl back through the bones again, not worried about how much noise I'm making.
Immediately it turns and kind of growls, and the last thing you see is it kind of rushing towards you as you duck down.
Okay, now I'm just trying to get through.
Yeah, so go ahead and make a athletics check, please.
13.
You do manage to push your way back down into the sinkhole, and no one's pulling this rope. You're just going down, right?
Yeah.
So you're falling down, sliding down this tunnel very quickly, and you hear the creature behind you, the snarling, and every once in a while it'll open its mouth and another mandolin tune will come out. But it's rushing through, and
Sorry, I just
you
had
hear.
I had a vision of what's the THX, the
Yeah. So you're sliding down, and you hear the creature behind you.
Hey, Buds, what you doing? Stop! No! Help!
The first thing everybody sees is Dottle emerges with a massive amount of bones, looking genuinely startled. Do you continue on, or you drop into the ground?
I think I'm attached to a rope, so I'm picturing she gets through the tunnel and then just boing, 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 boing.
Yeah. So are you gonna hang there like a worm on a hook?
Yeah, I'm gonna hang there like a worm on a hook, but immediately try and untie myself.
I'm gonna say once I see this, I'm gonna run up and try and help Dottle get out.
Okay.
And then, is it coming?
Yeah, it's definitely coming.
No,
It's
I'm
right
talking to
behind you.
her.
Oh.
Thank you, Mr. TM.
All right. Well, let's differentiate our questions. It's my job to answer.
Saray, perhaps don't come out right away, because he could come down and be oh, and then come back out again. Give him some time to get down here.
I know. I'm making sure you're out of the way.
Don't worry about me. Get out of here.
Oh my God. Okay. And then I turn around and go back.
Make a stealth check, Saray.
I'm just worried that he's gonna pop through, see Saray, and then immediately go back up again, and then we'll have blown our cover.
Yeah, so you feel like it's close, Saray, but you do manage to kind of duck back into the shadows just as this horrible little green orb emerges, rushing into the chamber, mimicking all of you, saying little bits and snatches from your previous interaction with the worms, your encounter, and then kind of lace through with these weird mandolin echoes. Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check. Yeah, that's a... Hold on here, sorry.
Just hanging here like a piñata.
Yeah, you're fumbling with your little claws at the rope, trying to undo it. So you manage... I know that was suspicious. Just take it out of your minds, okay? You manage to fumble with a knot, and Dottle, you free yourself. You drop to the ground. This creature has barreled out of the tunnel and is coming towards you. Everyone with a held action gets their surprise attack on it. It gets no attack this action.
Damn.
So go ahead. You've surprised it. However you want. We could use the same initiative order that we did before.
I was gonna say, I was like, should we just roll new initiative?
I don't. This thing is not going to live past one strike. So Maglo, you're up first.
Maglo runs over to Doddle and tries to just like make sure that she's fine, because I said the held action was when she comes down, he tries to heal her. So that's what he's.
Yeah, she's. I don't think you're at full health yet, are you, Doddle? But you're pretty close.
Full health, no.
Yeah.
But not hit by the.
No, the creature hasn't reached her yet, but it is right there. Calder, what would you like to do?
I could like leap at it, but I could also just whip.
Yep.
Whip.
Right, let's crack a whip. Let's see how that goes, I guess.
Yeah, you hit it, and your whip unfurls, and you strike this creature, and it drops to the ground. And
oh no!
With a splat, and it's like twitching on the ground.
Doddle, are you alright? Doddle.
And you hear Juniper's voice kind of echoing from it as it dies on the ground. It's like it's flailing about. It's still dying. If somebody wants to do something, you could save it, or you could kill it.
Yeah, Eldritch Blast it.
Yeah, it's on the ground. You step up and you blast it with your arcane energy, and these ravens, dark shadowy ravens shoot out of your hand as the creature kind of explodes with a wet splat in front of you.
Hawk, you could have just kicked it.
Does this mean we can go now?
Yeah, I think that means we can go now.
We should go further in and then find a place to rest up.
Further in?
We need to find a way out. Are you okay? You okay, hon? You fine? Hi, you did real good. Hey, Lynn, the plan went off without a hitch. You did.
Good job.
Literally went 100% to plan. You did very good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We can't leave. We can't go back. Do you want to go up?
Why don't we? Yeah, we want to
Let's
find
go
a
up.
rope.
Yeah, I think we just need to get back up.
Back up we go.
You wanna?
Thank God. Yep.
Yeah. And I'm gonna grab the cat again.
Your buddy, your best friend.
Come here.
You got Harold in a pack, and Busby is also in a pack. Do we have all of our?
Harold, you can come in my bag. Whoop, fight's
Okay,
over,
so
bud.
you are back in this corridor, and it's as I described before. It is filled with bones, almost waist high to those of you that are medium sized. For Doddle, it's over your head, and there's more stone further back, and there's a couple of passages here. There's one to your left here, and there's also a larger passage back this way.
Who's beside me right now? Can I crawl up
won't
on
meta
somebody so I'm
this.
not drowning in bones?
I'll pick you up, Doddle.
Thank you. I'm on your shoulders now.
What does the party want to do?
I'm gonna, when I get out of the hole of the bones, I'm gonna try and pop up over here more.
Okay.
Oh, snap, we have a map.
Yeah, this entire area is filled with those bones. The passageways lead up into other segments that have stone ledges that lead off to areas that don't have this sea of remains.
Where does the cat say to go?
I'm gonna hold the cat up because I presume that I'm still like chest deep in these bones.
Yeah, you are. The cat jumps out of your hands and lands on some bones very nimbly and kind of walks across them gingerly and kind of looks around, looks back at all of you, and then turns and kind of walks deeper into the cavern through the bones. This way.
That cat.
All right.
So, I guess we're going that way.
I guess we are.
I'm gonna try and like.
Come on,
what
Meg,
is Scrooge
well,
McDuck through these bones?
Come on, MacLeod, don't be such a grumpy gus.
These
We
bones. I
survived.
love that song.
Available on
there are 2 or 3 passageways to your left as you pass through this chamber, and they seem like rough stone, as if they had been carved out of the walls of this cavern through some of the more polished marble. There are pillars here, and you can see part of this area, at least, was once part of a crypt, and it has fallen into disrepair. And there are sections that have been hollowed out into the raw earth of the cavern around you. Do you continue forward?
I'm just gonna point out one of the passages. You know, I bet we could probably get some rest in one of those.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. All right. I'm gonna whistle at the cat, but like better than that. I'm sorry, Fabian can't whistle. And
Yeah, the cat stops.
and I'm gonna like push, like nudge this way, and I'm gonna try and go into this guy here.
I follow the leader.
It's really important that you tell me which of these passages you're going to go down.
This
The last one?
This
Ooh.
no, not the last one. This one where I'm at. This one.
Actually,
first
question. Hawk kind of like leans down to Doll and goes, "Hey, Doll, do you have any spell slots left?"
I have a couple, but I'm not sure if I can do anything of use.
Can you detect magic?
Mm-mm.
Darn.
I can hold a person or make a fog cloud.
Nah. Wait, I have my divine sense. I'd like to cast divine sense, if possible.
Yeah. What's the
Or use
distance?
It is 60 feet.
60 feet. Yeah.
Celestial, fiend, undead, or hollow.
Yeah. You don't sense anything in 60 feet.
Okay. Yeah, we're
Can I
more or less
put
safe.
off a little on top of Juniper and like just rest my head on her head?
Can I, with dark vision, can I see into this room? Do I see anything?
Easily. Yeah. So it is a collapsed passageway, and it looks like a rough area has been tunneled out into another crypt and collapsed into a very smooth stone passageway that has a number of insets where bodies and corpses would typically be kept, but there are no bodies inside of it.
Oh, great. All right, this looks safe in here. Let's rest in here.
Is there anything we could block the entrance with, like a casket lid or anything? Sorry.
Yeah, if you want to take the stone lid of a sarcophagus, you could block the entrance, but you're going to need help. It's very heavy.
Do you think blocking the entrance would be a good idea? What if we need to quickly exit?
Well, if there's no
Well-
other entrance or exit to this room, and I look around,
no.
is there?
There's some stranger beings to pop in and out of things.
Yeah. My thought is if anything tries to get at us, they'd have to move that out of the way, which would be pretty loud. So that's our equivalent of an alarm.
Oh, I
That's a
actually
good point.
I know I don't have a spell slot for it. Oh wait, no, I do. Oh, I can. Oh, I'm so sorry, Hawk. I can detect magic. I'm so sorry.
Oh shoot.
I have an alarm that I can do.
Oh.
You do you move the sarcophagus lid?
Yeah, does anybody want to help me with it?
Yeah, I'll help you with it.
I'll start setting up my little string and my bell.
Okay, so you're gonna set the alarm spell. Is there anything anyone else wants to do?
I'm gonna hold an action to attack in case something pops out of a sarcophagus.
All right, so yeah, they're all open, and it seems like something is rooted through there. You're assuming that these carrion crawlers dragged any of the corpses into that main space. So it is completely vacant in this chamber, and you figured that they also probably burrowed through the wall to get to this area. You notice that there is there's like a stone trap door above you, but it seems to be sealed shut.
Oh.
That should be something that we address.
I call dibs on not sleeping under that.
I don't think I can cover that with the sarcophagus lid.
Could we open it?
Okay, yeah. June takes her crossbow. She reaches over Dottle and pulls out her crossbow and readies it just in case.
All right.
Just
crossbow.
It's just suggestion. It's like it might be better opening it than someone jumping us, and by jumping us I obviously mean falling into a trap and hurting themselves. Maybe it's the outside, maybe it's not
O'Leary, Saray, and Maglo, you can make investigation checks.
Haka, you said you didn't sense anything in here, right?
No, nothing celestial, fiend, undead, or anything.
And sorry, investigation, Nox?
Yeah. Roll that again.
Nat 20?
Maglo. Yeah, that's a nat 20.
Oh, look at you!
Nat 20?
I just want to elaborate, though. That doesn't include aberrations or humanoids, so...
Right.
Yeah, Saray, you don't think that panel is going to cause you much danger. It looks like it's sealed shut. Maglo, it is not only sealed shut, but you're looking at it, it's probably been buried in from above. So it has been mortared, and there's very little chance that stone trap door is going to open without a lot of work. And you would hear it coming before it opened. If you wanted to use it as a way to get out, you would have to spend a lot of time and make a lot of noise, but it could potentially lead back outside.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all right. No one's gonna come falling through unless they really want to kill us. It's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a lot of noise. We'll hear it coming from a mile away. It could lead outside though if we. I mean, again, it's gonna take us a lot of noise and a lot of time. Could rig some kind of explosive to get it open, but it could lead outside. Anyway, basically, what I'm saying is it seems fine.
All right.
Okay,
well,
Calder lays down.
Yeah. Once I'm finished helping Hawk with the door, I'm gonna kind of collect some debris and bones that I presume are in this room, and I'm gonna use my flint box. I'm gonna set a small fire.
You notice that the smoke is wafting through cracks in the wall and actually being pulled out. So there seems to be some airflow somewhere.
Okay. I didn't think of that, but okay.
That's probably good.
Real quick, I'm gonna go up to Hawk and cast Mending on his armor, and then she's gonna go over to Dottle and do the same thing, cast it on her clothing.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Juniper.
So does everybody sleep here once the passageway is blocked and
Dottle's already asleep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take first watch.
Okay, you're gonna take first watch. I'll take second watch. I'll put my shield in front of Dottle.
Aww.
Mags is gonna try and get Busby to start working again, just figure out kind of what the corruption of it was.
Yeah.
Leary's just gonna pick out, maybe just assist with the fire, looking, poking around the room, trying to find some sort of wood, just mostly staying out of the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, you pry some wood out of some of the sarcophagi. There's a couple of structures that are kind of supportive of those stone pieces, and you manage to chip out enough wood to help the little fire burn for a while. You don't want to build it too too intensely because given the space that you're in, it would cause you all to suffocate. So you know, as a survivalist, that you definitely don't want to go too crazy with the fire. But you do assist, and I need to know, does everybody take a long rest at this point? And if so, do you take an additional amount of time so that somebody is always on watch? And who are those people, and when do you choose to do that?
I'd like to take watches.
Yeah.
Is it possible to each take a watch but still get a long rest?
Probably
Yes.
not. Oh.
I mean, there's 7 of us.
You have to. It's going to extend your sleep time though. So so for all of you, because there are a couple of, well, I guess there's only one elf really here. You need to be able to meditate. You do not have to fully sleep.
Right.
So you have to go into trance, which means that you are vaguely aware of everything around you. But it is not the same as being on alert, because you would be surprised by anything that might come out of nowhere if you were in that meditative state.
It says here, I'll post it. It says that we take a long rest as if it were a short rest.
Yeah.
Like it's only 4 hours versus 8 hours.
Right. Because of that, you can take a 4-hour trance meditation, which allows you to spend an extra 4 hours offsetting some of the group's sleep time, which means that the entire party, if you time it out correctly, will be able to offset when you do watches, so that everybody gets 8 hours and you get 4 hours. So I'm going to say that it's a 10-hour period. And is everybody taking a watch?
Yes.
I would.
I'll take first watch.
Yeah.
Do we want to take watches together? Maybe have some conversations. Maybe.
Are you wanting some conversations?
Before I go to sleep, I'm like, yeah, maybe June and Hawk should take the first watch, because it might be safer if we work as a team and have the buddy system in place, so that if somebody gets hurt.
Cal, like half asleep, is just like.
Calder's already snoring.
Yeah.
I'm gonna insight check Dawdle on this.
Yeah, go right ahead.
I want to like work on Busby, so like I'm good with taking first as well.
Nah, shoot, that's an 8.
Okay, so everyone is going to take a 1-hour watch, with the exception of Saray, who's going to take a longer watch. Okay, are we not teaming up? Is that what I'm hearing?
I was
Right.
team
I think we are teaming up.
Okay, we can team up.
I genuinely think we should team up.
Okay.
Just discussing who the teams are.
Yeah.
Mago is oblivious to Doddle's
Tell me that.
desire.
Then each team is taking a 2-hour watch.
Me and Calder will take a watch.
Hey.
Because we're both sleepy.
All right.
I'll take one with either of the boys.
And then Saray and Ellery, I think.
You got the last one, baby.
Odd man out.
Yeah. Who's the
So-
sad sap by himself?
You also, MacLeod, will be taking a watch with Saray, because Saray is doing double duty.
Yep.
Oh, okay. It was like, oh, Mag.
Because Saray only needs 4 hours of rest.
I don't sleep.
Well, you do
sleep, I
the
need
elven
answers.
thing where you relive your memories.
Right.
And so, who's taking the first watch?
I could take it with June.
Yeah, me and Calder are already
okay.
sleeping.
Okay, so everyone else goes to sleep.
Older.
Saray goes into a meditative kind of stance. And the two of you are sitting alone in this crypt while the fire kind of glows with a very, very slight ember.
Just like sitting there awkwardly flipping through the book that I found on the dead trial. I'm just like,
Yeah, there's nothing inside of it that's legible. It's smeared, horribly ruined ink and pages that have been like half dissolved. You're looking at trash.
ah, shit.
So June addresses Hawk and Celestial because she knows that Dawdle is sneaky and she might try to listen.
Are you asleep, Dawdle?
I'm very asleep. Yeah,
Okay.
I blew up a worm. Like a sleep for a while.
Is anyone foregoing sleep taking a short rest so that they can spy on the rest of the group?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Well, I want to pretend like I'm sleeping real hard when it's not my shift, but listening very carefully.
Okay, so you're going to end up taking a short rest, which means you won't get the full benefit of the long rest, but I'm going to allow you to overhear everything.
What is it with Dawdle keep trying to pair us up together on things?
June kind of blushes. I don't
Like,
really...
are you picking up on that? Because I'm picking up on that. It's kind of weird.
Oh my god. Is it hot?
Insight check.
It's not hot. You don't need an insight check for that. It's very cold down here.
It's freezing here.
Is it? Oh my gosh.
Yes, it's quite cold. Are you okay? Are you sick? Were you poisoned?
So tell me about yourself, Hawk. Do you have siblings? You used to worship other gods, but what else is there about you?
Yeah, I used to have an older sister, and this one girl. Like, I mean, we weren't really like together or anything because, our religious order, but
you had a girlfriend.
No, she wasn't. She was not my girlfriend.
But you wanted her to be.
I wanted to be a knight more than her boyfriend, and she wanted to be what she wanted to be more than my girlfriend, and there was that understanding.
You said you used to have a sister.
So what about you? You also lived in a temple or something like that?
Something like that. Mostly, I never really slept inside the temples. My mothers and I we would just sleep out under the stars in the grass.
I used to get chastised for trying to do that shit when I was a kid.
Well, my moms were definitely hippies. Following Sylvanas, it's pretty easy to do.
Yeah, the high priests of Lathander and Baldur's Gate tend to be a little bit more strict about that sort of stuff. My sister and I used to, back before she was super straight-laced about this sort of stuff, would fly to the roof, which was always great because the best stars, but the thing is that once you fly up there, and you can only do that once a day, it's really hard to get down, so we would actually be stuck on the roof. You'd think that we would have learned that the first time.
It's really nice to see you smile once in a while. We were really worried about you back there.
Oh. Don't get used to the smiling thing, all right? It's not my brand.
Know. I think I can maybe get you to do it once in a while.
Yeah.
And then she just like, all right. So is our time almost over? Or,
Yeah, about like 5 minutes has gone by. Do you we don't have to role play through every moment of it. Is there anything else the two of you wish to discuss, or do you want us to move on to the next group?
Let's get insight check Juniper. He gets the feeling he knows what's going on, but
sitting there across the way, she don't got a lot to say.
Shit, he is dumb.
I don't want to say
I think that's very
Donald,
that's very in
Boulder,
character.
can you shut the fuck
So
up? I'm trying to get to sleep.
Hawk is a guy, so.
Juniper, I'm really glad you care about me as a friend like this, or
as a friend,
stuff like that. And I'm really lucky to have you as a friend.
All right, I need you both to make perception checks.
I am gonna throw up.
game.
Nat 20. Everything.
You got a natural 20. Roll it again to see if you get another one.
That is amazing.
Put that into D&D Beyond.
I didn't, but
Or,
it is in fact a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay, so you didn't get your
No.
double 20, but
No double.
all right. Everything is very quiet. You don't think that there's anything nearby. It is as silent as a tomb. There is a pulsing light because Hawk has been sitting there flipping through kind of like absent-mindedly this book that has been destroyed, and he's got some of his things splayed out onto the floor. Inside the bag, there is a pulsing light. It's a very slow, kind of faint light.
Hey, Hawk.
Yeah.
Your bag. Look. It's
I
like
look at my bag.
glowing.
There's a glowing pulse on the inside of it.
Huh.
Do you want to see what it is, Hawk?
Yeah, it doesn't normally do that.
Oh my gosh. June goes over and just like snatches the bag and like looks
Hey,
inside.
that's my
Yeah,
stuff.
I didn't know if you were going to notice this, but you did get a natural 20. You open up the bag, and yeah, it's real faint, but as soon as you open it, there's this like glow coming from inside the bag, and you reach inside. Do you take out the source of the pulsing light?
I'm gonna like take a little bit of my robe to do it because I don't quite
Yeah.
trust it.
So you wrap your sleeve around, and you pull out the glowing orb, small glowing orb that the drow was carrying, and it's just kind of faintly pulsing.
What do you think this means?
It mean I don't know. It's an orb. It was on the thing. I don't know. Maybe it's an arcane focus or something.
We also are carrying another orb that doesn't just pulse. It does other things, Hawk.
You mean the Zori? Are you talking about the fish or the Zorian marble?
And now there's a third, Hawk. What do you think this could be?
I don't know. That's why I grabbed it. It looked important. I don't know.
This is at the end of the shift. Who's on the second shift? Okay,
Wasn't
well,
it-
it's up to you two to wake them up. So it's on you to decide who the next.
You know what? Hey, kid.
Is that me? That's
Yeah, that's you.
Ah, shit. What?
It's about you guys' turn. However, she like gently goes and like rubs Doddle's head. Wake up, Doddle.
How come she gets the?
Oh,
I
you
just
feel like you
look
got
at-
the short end of the stick here on the wake-up call.
I just like lean down. I whisper to Calder. At least she doesn't slap you.
What was that?
What? Please don't slap me.
Hey, Doddle,
Yeah.
it's
Nonsense.
it's sweetheart. It's you guys' turn to take a look out. But if you could, both of you, look at this. And she's showing you the pulsing orb.
Do you have a pearl worth at least 100 gold?
No, this was taken off of the drow.
Then I don't know if they can identify it, Jude.
Okay. She just like pats Doddle. Calder, do you see what I'm showing you?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So, does anyone else think that we should investigate this orb?
No, dude, I should have put it
Yeah,
in
but-
the presence of that data.
How-
I'm sorry, Doddle. What was that?
What?
I
was
have
all
my
of that?
cookbook in front of me, and I'm just myself.
It's just
Okay.
this giant book that has massive amounts of other papers kind of shuffled into it, little things that have been written off to the side.
Calder, it looks to be a normal, everyday, like 101 cookbook, but there's so many like scribbles in the margins, and like pictures of pies have been replaced with like charts and like arcane drawings and stuff. But there's also recipes in there.
Does that make them pie charts?
I swear to God.
Oh my God.
Very good. That's very good. That's very good.
All right.
Alice
So
looks at this cookbook and back at this orb, and he's like, what now? What is that? Who picked that up? I don't like the
Hawk
vibe.
did.
You
Yeah.
got a little bit of a hangover.
Oh, that alcohol.
Perfect. Yeah. Ugh.
I'm just, my biggest fear with finding this is that it could be just like everything else we've picked up, a tracking device.
That's great. Is there any food in that bag?
Oh yeah. I open my bag and I like kind of brush off some like dead beetle that's on my thing. I unwrap like the last of Rosie's like pastries that's like a little smashed from like a day ago, and I just pass it to Calder.
Cal
Have
takes
you
the lumpy pastries.
Had one of these before.
I haven't. Can I have one now?
Yes.
Just to
Thank God.
describe to you all.
It's just completely destroyed. However, it tastes delicious.
Thank you. Good.
June
Please.
pierces her lips so hard, and mind you, her lips are as big as mine. So hard, the blood goes from them. She puts it in her shirt, goes to the corner, and just lays there.
So you pluck the glowing orb into your bodice and go to sleep. Is that what I'm hearing?
Can I go over
Fortunately, yeah.
Can I
Yeah,
go
okay.
over to June and just pat her a couple times and go, "Don't worry, I protected you from the giant worm, and I can protect you from this glowing orb thing too. Sleep very soundly, my friend."
She like turns her head like it's a clock, and then she just like, "Thank you, Dottle."
You're welcome.
Cal is just eating this pastry with like a very far away look on his face. Like,
Yeah.
night.
I go sit down beside Calder.
If anyone wants to take this orb, it's between me and my bra. They're gonna have to kill me for it. And then she knocks out.
Okay. With that statement, the two of you are left on watch, and you can talk amongst yourselves for a minute if you like.
Cal's just chewing and looking at Dottle, like waiting for the inevitable personal questions.
Just want to say real quick, Hawk still has a deviated septum, so you hear the terrible snoring in the background.
What's your favorite color?
My favorite color?
Mhm.
I'm gonna say yellow.
What do you think happens after we die?
Cal's eyes just get wide. You know, I hadn't thought a whole lot about it. I try not to think about it too much. I'm not a big gods person. Do you have ideas?
No.
Oh, what's that
She
look?
Donald just looks very perplexed. I don't think she realized that herself until this moment.
Oh.
I guess I never really had to think about it before. Death seemed really far away, but I guess so did everything else.
You did really great with the baby beholder today, and with the worm. That was one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Thank you.
Yep.
You did very good as well. Thank you for saving my life at that one point.
I did very little.
I don't think that's true at all.
No, objectively, I think that's pretty true. I just had to sit there and let you, like, grab me.
Well, that did quite a lot. I don't think we would have been able to defeat the worm if you hadn't have done that. So I think you're a very important person, Calder.
I don't think we would have been able to defeat the worm if I hadn't defeated the worm. Look at you.
Oh, I'm sorry, Calder. That's not what I meant at all. I'm just trying to make you feel like a valued member of the team.
Oh, sorry. That's what I was trying to do.
Oh, okay.
That didn't come out quite right. I apologize.
What's your favorite flavor of pie?
Beef? Or do you mean the dessert ones?
They make meat pies?
Yeah.
Calder, when we get out of here, can we have a meat pie?
Yeah.
How does that work? Is it just a pie, but you put meat in the crust instead?
Yeah, and I mean,
even
it's like,
consider that as an option.
yeah, it's like all the parts of a stew, except it's like less watery, and you put it in a pie, and then you could take it with you. It's like a portable stew.
Before your transformation, Dottle, you had lived life as a vegetarian, but ever since you've been in this form, you have craved meat, and you've not really understood it, but here you are. And ever since you've been able to enjoy it, it has been something that you've always kind of looked forward to as far as eating is concerned.
My mouth is drooling as if I had just taken a sip of water and just went. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I have different saliva things. I'm sorry. Oh, that's so rude. I'm so sorry.
No, I'm on the same page with. Yeah, let's get a meat pie after this. They're so good.
Oh my god, I can't stop.
You're valid. I'm imagining a very like Ponyo and ham situation here. Like we'll get a meat pie after this. I'm gonna be honest with you. I forgot what we're doing in this weird underground place, but as soon as we're done with that and get back up there, yeah.
I think we're trying to escape whatever's chasing us and get out of here.
Right. Sometimes I forget whether we're treasure hunting or not. Yeah.
I think the real treasure is the friends we made along the way.
And
Cal
so,
like reaches for the alcohol but stops himself. I'm like, all right.
2 hours pass, and the conversation kind of circles around this way for a while, and the two of you get to know each other a little better. Who do you wake up when your shift is over?
We don't see anything?
No.
What a perfectly lovely conversation we just had for 2 hours. Okay.
Meat pie and death.
Let's wake up.
I guess
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by the toe. If he hollers at a goat. Eeny, meeny, miny. O'Leary. Let's go wake up O'Leary and Saray.
Cal just puts the alcohol under her nose. Okay.
You kind of dozed off on part of this conversation because it was circulating around meat pies, and it just didn't seem like it was really worthy intel of any sort.
Nox, as someone who has experienced the remembering before, what is the most pleasant way to be woken up from the remembering?
Yeah, you could just patiently place a hand on their shoulder or on their knee, and that will draw them out of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit in front of Saray and just place my hand on her knee.
Oh.
Hello. I'm so sorry to disturb you, but it's your turn to go on shift.
Perfect. And I get up and dust myself off, and I'm gonna take off my cloak, and I'm gonna like give it to Dottle and be like, "Here, if you need this."
Can I smell it?
Weird, but okay.
The cloak of elven kind, right?
Yeah.
Smell it.
It does smell familiar.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna like
immediate regret.
You know that video of the dog when he grabs the blanket and does a little twirl and gets all wrapped up in it? I want to be all wrapped up in the cloak and fall asleep.
Yeah, it's certainly familiar to you, Dottle. There's all the smells of the crypt and everything else around you, but like deep within the fabric of this elven cloak is something very primordial and pure and very ethereal, and you can almost smell the textures of the cloak itself in a way that no mortally crafted piece of fabric could do.
Yeah, I think Cal just finds a spot and he sleeps kind of half sitting up, like in true like pouty teen kind of position like that. Just tries to sleep off the rest of this hangover.
Yeah, you end up kind of pushing off into sleep fairly easily, Calder, and everything's quiet. O'Leary, Saray, you are in the crypt. Everyone else seems to be asleep.
You like meat pies?
Saray was probably like standing like really solitary and like serious, like kind of watching the door like unblinkingly, and you say this.
I don't know,
Yeah,
the other
I
ones
guess.
were talking about meat pies, so I figured give it a shot.
Yeah, they really like food.
Speaking of which, you wouldn't happen to have any on you, would you?
Saray digs into her pack and pulls out a ration.
Okay.
It's a
yeah.
survival ration, so it ain't great.
It's this dried, flaky, elven bread.
Throw it to you.
Ah, thank you.
It actually is. It's pretty good.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I feel like this is the first thing I've eaten in years.
No problem.
Yeah. So she's kind of voraciously eating on the floor as this like ember of a fire kind of burns there. The cat is sitting in a corner and hasn't moved this entire time. Its tail is kind of swishing back and forth As the glint of the fire lights its eyes, it stares back at you.
So, do you remember how you got how'd you get into the Gravesmaster's care? Do you remember that?
I can remember a few things, but I can't tell you that I remember exactly how I got here.
Well, what do you remember?
Well, the last thing I remember is that this scar that I have, I think I died.
You definitely died. I saw your dead corpse in Gravemaster Zier's office.
You have to understand that's a lot to piece together,
I can only imagine.
but I haven't figured it out yet. Are you hungry, kitty?
It looks passively at you. It doesn't move towards you with the food.
More for me.
Does the rest of your 2 hours stay in silence?
I would say Leary tries to strike up some awkward conversations based on the things that she heard the rest of the party saying. What do you think about this,
Your favorite
those
color?
other two flirting with each other all the time?
Yeah, it's really silly. Very,
Okay.
it's a weird juvenile-ish romance. They're both
Tell you
too
what,
dumb to realize that they like each other and say anything about it. I've seen it 1,000 times. They'll figure it out.
Appreciate your perspective on that. I imagine that's how it goes, right?
It's just like, it's like everything's like, yeah.
So you are released from your watch then, Illyri, and Saray, do you wake up Magla?
Yeah.
And Illyri, do you go back to sleep or are you listening in?
Oh, definitely going to sleep now. I've eaten.
Yeah. Okay, so you nod off and fall asleep.
Wake up, Maglo. It's your turn.
Oh,
buddy.
I got it. He goes and he gets a few random scrap gears and stuff out of his pack, and he sits down with Busby and starts fiddling.
What do you think's wrong with it?
Did you see him when he came down? He flew down after seeing the tiny beholder thing, and like its core was purple. It's normally like yellow.
I wonder if that has to do with the beholder or the drow.
Well, I just don't want to risk it like tracking us. When I took it out, it went back to normal, but it was pale, like it lost a lot of juice. I don't know. It's just
How do you
it's
recharge those things normally?
Well, normally they're just like good. You like put them in. They got so much magic power that they can just like last. So you don't really need to like charge it up every now and again. It's just like living off like the weave of magic itself. That's how it's like charged, just by like floating around. I don't know if down here the weave is just weaker. I don't know if it's just a random. I got sucked of a bunch of life force out of it. I don't know if it's being tracked. I don't know.
What? I need you both to make perception checks.
Perception.
Who?
You are knee deep in technical jargon and
he's
gears.
way too busy. Oh,
Oh, baby! With that +8!
You waited, Nox. You waited for the two bad rollers together, but you didn't think about that +8.
Yeah, sucker!
I didn't account for it. I have been undone. So the last watch goes by fairly uneventfully. The two of you were discussing things. And as Maglo's talking to you, you hear faint scratching outside of the crypt, back in the corridor that was filled with bones that you had left behind. Very, very faint.
Shh, Maglo. Put out the fire.
All right. Magla goes and puts out the fire.
You stamp out the fire. Everything is quiet. Scratching seems to have stopped.
I heard something.
Do you want me to wake the others up?
Do I still hear something?
Nothing.
There might be something just passing by. Let's not startle anyone yet. And I'm gonna keep listening.
Another hour passes and you hear nothing. And slowly everyone else wakes up as your night has passed.
I think I probably have not moved or said anything in that whole hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, when people like start to get up, Maggo's like, shh, wait, and then points over to Saray.
MacLeod, come here. Come here.
Maggo like sneaks over. What is it? What is it?
Last night, this started pulsing over in his bag. And
You pull the orb out of its resting place, and it is completely dull, opaque rock. It doesn't pulse or glow.
But it was pulsing in his bag, and Hawk saw it, Dottle saw it, Calder saw it, we all saw it. Something weird is happening, but it's another orb in our possession doing some weird shit, dude.
Aye, it's alright.
But what are we being quiet for? What's happening?
Saray heard someone over there. She heard it and she hadn't said anything. She just told me to shut up, so I'm trying to shut up. Give it here. I'll have a look.
Okay, she hands it over.
I was gonna like give it a once over.
You can make an Arcana check, but if you want to know if it's truly magical or not, I would need you to cast something.
Do you have any pearls, Maglo?
17. Maglo's like, shh, to Dottle.
It is very likely that this is some sort of magical focus, but you don't know without casting something on it.
I think it might be just like an arcane focus. You know how like Dottle has.
Okay.
Where did you find it?
I'm June. Hawk took it off of the drow.
Oh, so you're thinking it's like a tracker?
With our luck and how many trackers we have.
We do have a tracker on us already.
Right.
I mean, it might not be. It might just. I didn't think that drow was magical. They did cast some magic, so it might just be a thing they use to cast magic.
Could be, but I will just, again, I don't know if it means anything, but it was pulsing, and now it's not. So it has some sort of energy.
Well, and he hands it back. I'll leave it to your judgment. I trust you. If you want to leave it, I'll fight your side. If you want to bring it with us, that's absolutely fine.
Everyone is awake at this point. Saray is standing by the entrance where the stone sarcophagus lid is propped up against the wall and is listening very intently. Saray, you still hear nothing, but everyone behind you is starting to shuffle and make noise.
No, that's none. You know, Saray.
I'm gonna turn on the fire again.
Calder, what are you doing?
Saray to say,
I don't know if I trust you to light a fire if you call it turning on a fire.
Just so that I understand the positioning of the room before we go any further. Calder and Aliri, are you kind of like lounging? Are you still sleeping? Did you
Cal's just like completely tuned everybody out. I think he maybe still a little hungover, don't know, maybe a little headachy, just like he heard that someone heard a noise and now he's just like,
I feel
but yeah, he's just hanging back.
Okay.
As soon as Saray hears fire, she's gonna put up her hand and be like, hold on. I wouldn't do that yet.
What's going on?
I heard something, and then we put out the fire, and it stopped. And I haven't heard anything since then. But I'm worried that the fire would give off our location, because the smoke will exit the room.
What do you think we should do? Do you think we should go ahead and unbarricade the entrance? Figure out.
It's not like we could get through the trapdoor, can we?
That's what I was thinking. Can we? Should we try?
Is there a way that we can get it open quietly?
It's stone, so probably not.
Can you cast silence on it?
That I can do. So I go ahead and I cast silence in our room.
I wonder.
We can't talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to now. We have to
anyone
sign to each
says
other.
Now you aren't going to hear unless
We were
you
not
break
good at that.
concentration.
We are not good at that. Not talking. Last time we had to not talk, it did not go well.
Well, now you have
Maglo-
no choice though, because the spell is preventing the sound from coming out.
Maglo toys with a little it's like a two pieces of glass, one which is like quite large, and a slightly smaller one, and he writes with a this like quill, and it projects the words and the letters that he's writing, because I'm going to use magical tinkering, which I can make a static visual effect, including up to 25 words on a text. So he's going to write so people can see what he's...
Thank God for
Can everyone here read common?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, it's a yes. Yeah, if you speak common, it's a very specific choice to not be able to read.
Yeah.
He writes down, and whenever someone puts their hand up, he like hands it to them.
All right, I'm gonna put my hand up, and I just take it and I write, I can cast the spell Unseen Servant. Do you think that would help? And I show it to the group.
Yeah, we give him a thumbs up, like, try it.
All right. Here, I've never cast this before, so...
Cal is on the same page as Alir, just like, what is that? What is that?
Macklin takes the thing from Hawk and then like writes Illyri, calm down, but like the Illyri is like cross out.
Yeah, it's really misspelled. Yeah.
Cross out, calm down, and he just writing it.
Huh. If I cast that, I would kill everyone in here. Probably.
Do it.
It's spike growth, so it'd be not a fun
Don't do
day.
that. Don't do that.
It'd be a terrible day.
To be clear, we are trying to open up that trapdoor.
Yeah, our characters are trying to open the trapdoor.
That is what we're trying to do? Okay, Dotto's just gonna, like, ruffle through her pockets, take out a little doll hand, and then smush it into the ground, and, like, as soon as she pushes down, a hand pushes up out of the ground right underneath the trapdoor and punches it. And I'd like to cast Maximilian's Earthing Grasp, please.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I need this elf to go
It's better than my
somewhere.
idea, yeah.
She's scary.
Nah, it's a pretty good spell.
That's at 16.
Okay, so
Man, that's impressive.
this this hand rises up out of the stone of the crypt, and it's like shoveled dirt that has been packed together with these broken fingers made out of shattered stone, and it just kind of like shoves its way onto the stone trapdoor and pushes it upward and then pulls it down. So it breaks, and the earth around it kind of shuffles down, and dust and dirt flies into the air. Everybody make a Constitution saving throw. You're in a very small space, and it just filled with debris.
Ooh.
Well.
Did not do great.
Oh no.
Everyone
another
nice.
crit. What's
You're
your boy
critting.
doing
You're
today?
critting. Yeah, roll that again. So I'm assuming that Maglo has some sort of breathing apparatus, and as this was going on, as soon as you saw the ground start to shift, and even the components that Dottle grabbed, you immediately reached into your bag and put this mask on, and immediately started breathing. Everyone else, with the exception of Dottle, is coughing and catching your breath, because it is just very, very dusty in here now, and it's hard to breathe. So all
Except
of you,
we're still silent, right? Like nothing.
no one hears anything.
No one hears us. Great.
Yeah, but you are hacking up along on all fronts, with the exception of Dottle and Maglo. I guess Maglo, what are you doing?
I get he's gonna like make sure that everyone's okay. Who looks like they're choking the most, or like?
Well, I
Probably-
rolled
yeah.
7.
Yeah, Ellery is the worst off. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, Soraya is. 'cause
I'm
you
at
rolled a
2.
Wow,
snap.
you really can't roll well, can you?
no.
Yeah. Saray is definitely not doing great. It caught her by surprise.
Yeah, oh my god.
Yeah, MacLeod's gonna go over to Saray, and then he takes off the breathing mask on him, and then just holds his breath, and then puts it on her, and then is gonna like do a lot of motion to get her attention, and then point up to the trapdoor, and then point to Doddle, and then
the ground does vibrate a little bit when all this occurs, but other than that, it's completely silent. And there is a shaft of weak gray sunlight that is kind of strangled, but it's coming through all of this dirt now.
Hey. Cal just like, huh? He looks very happy.
Can I grab the pencil? I want to write rope plus spider climb equals profit ?
I'm gonna like, while I have this apparatus on my head, just be like,
Mag actually has rope trick, so he's gonna
Ow.
pull out his little automaton, this little flying one attached to the rope, and be like,
Okay,
just
so
grab
you
it. He's doing a lot
activate
of
it.
dumb motions, and he just grabs the quill thing and just writes, I can make this fly up, and we
I'm
can climb out
ignoring
through
him.
that."
I'm already climbing.
Yeah, Doddle's already kind of like climbing across the rough-hewn wall of this shaft out in towards this gray daylight. And you set this thing in motion, and this brass automaton, the propeller starts to spin, and it flies upward. Everything again is silent.
Do I look like my neighbor Totoro with an umbrella?
You do.
Cutesy.
What do you when you get up to the top, Doddle? You can see that you're surrounded by tombstones. Yeah, tombstones and mausoleums. As far as you can see, it's all stone and graves, and it looks like you've just burst out of the foot of a mausoleum. And yeah, it is open air, and there is a iron gate around you, and there are flowers that have been withered, have been sitting here for a long time, that are kind of like piled up around. And behind you is a small statue of a woman who is very beautiful but sad, human, looking downward and holding a bowl, and inside of the bowl is this kind of eternal flame that's flickering.
Hello.
And she is a statue, so...
Oh!
Also, is this within my 20 feet?
No, it's outside of the 20 feet. So
Okay.
you do hear hello.
Can I crawl out and then yell back down? We're in a graveyard.
And it goes down, and...
Mago just looks
Calvin
around
leaps
and
onto the
mouths-
rope. He leaps, and he starts climbing. Cal is desperate to get out.
Cal grabs onto MacLeod's rope trick and starts pulling himself out.
I feel you. Yeah, June kind of like follows, but not as frantic.
Okay, what's the rest of the order here? Is it who's going in last?
I'll go last, presuming that the dust and all the debris has settled by the time everyone else is up there, and I can take off this thing.
Yeah. June, where do you go in all this?
Oh, right behind Calder.
And then who's the last one out?
I am.
Saray.
Saray, you're climbing out, and as you're hanging on the rope,
If something fucking grabs me, yeah, make a what?
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Make a what?
Okay, yeah, you make it. You get a feeling, this like cold chill as you grab onto the rope and you're about to leave.
Is the cat still there?
The cat's looking at you.
I'm gonna turn around and grab the cat.
You grab the cat and it turns and it tries to slip out of your grasp.
No, and I grab its little neck.
Make a acrobatics check.
Oh, ew, the cat.
Please don't break the cat.
Yeah, it's like you grabbed its neck.
15.
Yeah, you pull this big swath of fur off of the back of the cat as it lands on the ground and then looks back at you and then just kind of like arches itself. And you can't hear the meow, but you know it just meowed at you. And it starts walking towards the mausoleum door.
No! Wait. What? Come back.
It's silent. Nothing is happening. You're shouting, but nobody's hearing you.
No, I'm shouting at the cat. Oh, right, because there's sound. Okay, before I leave, I'm gonna inspect the mausoleum door.
How are you inspecting it?
Like, I'm just gonna listen and... Because this is... it's the door that Hawk blocked off, right? We blocked off? Is that what is that the door that you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk up and I'm gonna listen. See if I hear anything. Yeah, go.
Do you have something you want to say?
Can you still listen?
Well, it's silent, so you don't hear anything in the space. You move up to the mausoleum door, and the cat's still there. And there's this like patch of spine that you can see now from that little piece that you pulled off.
God damn it!
And the cat looks at you, and then looks back and like paws at the door.
Son of a bitch.
And it's like pushing at this rock, and the mausoleum door shifts and kind of like slides down a little, and it's like batting at another rock. And even though it's silent, the door slides a little further down, and now there's like this gap, and you can see out. Are you gonna stay there?
I'll look out the door.
There's nothing there.
There's nothing there.
It's the same. Everybody who's above, Saray's taking a suspiciously long amount of
I
time.
was Maglo is wondering why Saray is taking so long, and then we'll poke his head.
You don't see Saray on the rope.
Yeah, June's gonna go down that rope.
Yeah,
she's like, that's suspicious.
All right, June is going down. Everybody else is just hanging tight up by the grave. You're surrounded by mausoleums and stones, and it is as far as the eye can see. This is called the City of the Dead for a reason, and it's nothing but these stacked statues and monuments all around you.
Oh, I think we fucked up.
So yeah, Maglo, you climb back down the rope. So Ray, you don't see anything. I mean, you can see through it. Your elven vision, your eyes kind of adjust, and you see with dark vision as far back as the chamber allows. It looks undisturbed. All of the corpses are still piled out in front of you. There are bones as far as the eye can see. That long chamber, everything looks the same as you remember it. Also, because of the bones, if anything had moved closer to you, you would have heard the shuffling of bone. There would have been no way, unless something was climbing on the ceiling, that it could have passed by you. And you kind of peer out, and then you look down at the stone sarcophagus door, and you see scratched on the face of it, "Run, Hawk." And that's where we're going to end it today.
Oh, no!
What the fuck?
What?
Yeah, I don't know if y'all heard me. Guys, I think our characters fucked up bad.
Why?
Because we just like opened up this never-ending cemetery, and there were sounds when there was fire and light, but then suddenly there's no fire and light, and I feel like if we possibly turned on light up there, something bad might happen. I don't know.
We unleashed an evil that was sealed off.
Maybe.
So,
whoopsie.
Emote.
Whoopsie.
Emote.
Yes, let me live out the mummy.
Because I can assure you, that was the
dreams.
first thing June was gonna do was turn on a light. So good luck, everybody.
Hey, who turned off the lights?
I mean,
Episode.
I hope that's not
a
the
good
case.
episode.
It said "Run, Hawk," and we ran. We're out of there. I think we did okay, if you ask.
Yeah, you
Wait.
paid attention to what was going on. So
And also Hawk, like, man, you know what? At least it's not like you're not like alone, you know? You have like 6 other friends.
That's fair.
I thought you were gonna say at least it's not like Die, Hawk.
Yeah.
it could have been more pointed. Yeah.
You're like, aren't you glad you didn't turn on the light like that situation?